I mean,
What
let
up?
the internet know that we're on the internet.
What up, Internet?
Hello, Internet.
How are you, Internet?
We're well.
How are you?
Hey, good to see you.
We're all fine here. How are you? How are you? Is the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Boring conversation.
Situation normal.
That's the tagline for all of our podcasts.
What?
Excuse me.
Situation normal?
No, boring conversation anyway.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh.
oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
So,
that's hot content.
Man.
That's
Snort it.
I'm just trying to get it out before we do real stuff here, you know?
Oh, the real stuff.
Keeping it real. Am I right?
No.
What did you just say?
Seriously, brother.
I said no, motherfucker.
Fuck you.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa,
You
whoa,
too.
whoa,
Easy.
whoa, whoa.
Did someone already tweet or no?
I was waiting for the link to show up, which it
Uh-oh.
just
Chuck's
now did.
twatting it.
Okay, I'm just checking, man.
Bop.
Just asking, man.
Pause that shit. Go to the Twitter.
Are you a cat?
No, the fan.
Is it making a noise?
I'm not noticing it.
It does make a noise, but it doesn't come through the mics.
Yeah, I don't hear
It's a
it.
good thing.
Tweeted.
One new
Twode.
tweet. It's that one.
Oh, tweet,
notification.
motherfucker.
Oh, tweet. Goddamn. So I saw the biggest possum that I've ever seen in my entire life.
How big was it?
It's good that we're live streaming this. It was
is.
about this big around.
Please, for the
About
folks at
yay big around.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
Fat ass possum.
It's like that big around and about that long without its tail.
Wow.
that fucker's knocked up.
About
Hey.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Hey.
fucking huge.
Did it as
Yeah.
fast as I could.
Huge.
Huge. And so I was sitting around the fire with some friends last night, enjoying fireside chat, like you do.
Fried possum.
Yes. And that giant sumbitch just kind of walked up in the yard and was like, "Hey, fellas, what's going on? How you doing?"
That son bitch.
That's a cool possum.
It's a very large possum, so you have to call it a sumbitch.
Some bitch.
Bitch.
Yeah, we had one that was crawling on the fence in our backyard one night when I let the dogs out, and they were just going absolutely ballistic, trying to chase it while it skittered along the top of the fence. It was not that big, but they're like strangely ambivalent towards people.
Yeah, it just was like, "How's it going? You guys have any garbage for me?"
Yeah.
No? Okay, I'm going to look over here. Is that okay? Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. He didn't care about me. He cared about the dogs that are like, we're going to tear your throat out if we can get you.
Yeah. Do you remember Night of the Raccoons at your place?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There were like 17 raccoons in your tree back there. Night of the Coons.
So did we not put the other game in the list? Or do you want me to just
What? The
Kona thing?
It's on there. It's in the second half.
Top.
First
Oh,
one.
okay. Man,
Yeah, I put it in there.
It's in there.
I've got adventure games where you have to look for stuff.
Yeah, clearly.
You need a reading simulator.
I get it. Ah. Oh, man.
Am I right?
No.
Oh, shit.
So, Chuck, when
Yes,
you were
sir.
doing screaming, when you were screaming and you're streaming on your PS4,
Yeah.
what did you set it at?
I don't know.
Like, oh, you don't remember the quality or whatever?
It was whatever the defaults were.
I did. Yeah, the default is only apparently 480p.
Oh,
What?
I probably bumped that
Yeah,
up.
which
then.
is what our YouTube video at least exported as. So I'll probably bump it up next time.
I'm pretty sure I bumped it up.
Bump it up.
Yeah, It's like,
1080p, 60 frames, man. Nothing less.
And nothing more.
I'm gonna pass on that. I got a good connection. I got a good pipe.
Yeah?
Yeah, but my pipe is
Wide open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's what I don't understand. Why didn't they just enable the ability to just record offline and then post it somewhere later?
You can.
You can. There's a certain limit. I think.
Yeah, I thought it was only like
30
15
minutes.
seconds or something.
It's
No,
15
no.
minutes. It's
No.
always recording. Always record.
Okay. Well, mine's not.
Yeah, if you hit the
Turn it
share
off.
button, it just like, hey, we've got this clip. Do you want to upload it somewhere?
Yeah, I turned mine off. All the
Yeah, I
recording
mean when it
background.
first, but I think they patched it later. It patched it to be longer later, if I remember right. Because like initially it was only like 4 or 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But it was kind of annoying because like you'd want a clip of something and you'd be like, oh well, I don't want all this shit.
You got to go in and edit it.
Yeah. I think it's just easier to put it on Twitch and then cut it later.
Their
Okay.
editor is kind of okay. I've used it several times. To
The
Twitch
PlayStation
one?
one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
The
no,
PlayStation one?
the PlayStation, whatever.
Yeah.
It's got some name.
The
but-
Share Factory.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Shactory.
Yeah, you go to the Shactory. You watch the movie Steel in the Shactory.
Yeah.
Isn't that like in a church or something? A Shactory?
No, that's a rectory.
Oh. Damn near Killery.
And scene. Welcome, everyone. That's been your pre-show entertainment.
That's what I'm here for.
So silly. Just silly.
Jokes. Bye.
Free show, we're out.
Fucking hanging out for 20 minutes. Fuck this.
Fucking hanging out here for 20 minutes. Got no dukes.
Fucking Roger Staubach over here.
Fucking button hooked me.
Oh.
The finest thing that Adam Sandler has ever done.
Yep.
Hey,
Kinda
go!
is.
Yes, old man. Raguli Festival.
Sorry, it's in my head because I'm actually probably going to mention it during the podcast.
Oh, shit. Oh, I know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I need to shut the door?
Sure.
Yeah, shut that shit.
I mean, the cats are occupied by, the sounds of squirrels and addicts. The worst of all the V.C. Andrews novels.
Squirrels in the attic. All right. So you guys ready to do a podcast?
So ready.
I sure am.
I figured I'd get that business taken care of rather than 20 minutes in. Being like, I don't want to hear you talk about that game. I'm going to go pee. Beep. Why is that so funny, Chuck?
I'm gonna go pee.
I'm going to go pee.
I'm going to go miterate in the
Yes.
other room.
Tastes like feet.
Ew.
Sorry.
I don't want to hear about your water sports
It's a friends
activities.
thing. It's dumb.
Oh. I don't want to hear about your water sports activities.
Yeah, you do.
No.
No.
No. So you ready? I get this done.
Yeah.
make it happen.
Oh, man, look at all these people here.
I know, it's all of us.
Yeah.
Hooray for live stream.
Let's talk to ourselves and then do bonus jokes
No.
in the chat for just ourselves.
That's if you want to do that, go for it, Chuck.
All right.
I deem you the jokester.
Well,
Go forth and joke, buddy.
I'm the jokester.
Oh shit.
I am the jokester. Am I right? Ha. Jokes.
Oh god.
Ding dong.
boy, oy, oy, oy.
Hey, guy who commented on the worst 30 seconds of YouTube history. Now he got something for you.
Yeah.
Now we did it.
Yeah.
Fuck those people.
Right.
Us.
Yeah.
That means us.
Yeah, us.
Fuck us. Exactly.
Because we just created the worst 30 seconds of YouTube history. All right, let's make podcast.
All right. Whoa.
The clap is coming.
Yeah, way to
every
blow
time.
the clap, Chuck. All right, welcome to No Quarters, episode 79.
It's a motherfucking video game podcast.
What? Why are you here?
Because
He's on a streak,
I
man.
know.
hot streak.
Hot streak.
Yeah.
Streaking.
Is this 3 in a row?
Yeah, you're a regular Cal Ripken at this
Yeah,
point.
I am.
Whoa. Participation
Senior?
award.
Yes, he is kind of like Cal Ripken Senior.
Pretty much.
Aw.
But anyway, I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Harlow.
And let's just get right to it, man. Let's
yes.
just talk about some video games.
Okay.
You guys
Oh,
cool with
is
that?
Are we still doing that?
Yeah, we could talk
Okay,
about our
cool.
weekends, but that's what that bonus Patreon stuff.
For the first half. And then,
Yeah. Yeah, then we'll eventually get to it.
and then we'll get to the second half where we talk about more video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
But let's start it off. Far Cry Primal.
Yes. Far Crymal.
Far Crymal.
A couple of you played the Far Crymal.
Yeah. I've been playing.
Is there any crime in it?
Murder.
But before there were laws,
There's
really,
lots
but
of murder.
Lots of murdering going on.
Yeah.
Maybe
So it's
some.
really just a violation of a gentleman's agreement.
Sure. Yeah. It takes place a long time
Well, no,
ago.
they had not invented gentlemen
No
in
gentlemen's
10,000 BC.
No.
I'm sorry, BCE. Before the
BCE.
Common Era.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
a caveman's agreement.
Yes.
Been cave exploring BCE.
So,
Far Crymal.
what can you tell us about this game?
I-
other than there are bee grenades.
I've finished it.
You have completed the game.
I have finished the Far Crymal.
What, Batman?
Not 100% like all the bullshity, but
Oh,
you
no,
know, the
that's
mainframe
okay. Yeah,
game and
no.
all that stuff.
I'm taking my time.
All right.
I'm only about 6 hours in.
Okay.
Just taking it slow. Didn't
You're
want to
not
get
taking
burned out.
very much time.
I just didn't want to get burned out on another one of these things.
That's smart.
And it doesn't really have the kind of story where you're like, I'm involved in this story. I must play this game and nothing else.
What?
So-
The story is amazing.
It's all in a fake language, right?
It could
You're in
be
a fake language.
Well, with subtitles.
It is in a language that is not commonly spoken.
No, it's
Okay.
it's made up.
Okay, fine.
They
Well,
got
all
they-
languages are made
It's in
up. But
Sanskrit.
They
used
They got a
linguists.
linguist, and they
Made
basically tried to make something that would sound sort of like what we think
Okay.
primitive speak would have
Primal.
been. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, yeah, it's all subtitled.
Yeah.
That's
unless
a
you
little
turn
irritating.
the subtitles
Were,
off.
were you actually being facetious or real about the story?
Well, okay, there's the actual story, and then there's the story I was telling myself as the game was unfolding.
Okay.
And
yeah.
the actual story maybe perhaps a tad generic. My story, however, involves you, Mr. Caveman, a primal caveman, the A number one caveman, has a friend who's you know he passes he's dying, you know, from a vicious I believe it's a wolf attack.
Okay.
And at his dying breath, he passes on his lucky puka shells onto you, and so you have to continue living the bro dream, man, because that's his dying wish. He wants you. He gives you the pooks, and you know you've got to carry on where he cannot.
And then you eventually become Brody from Far Cry 3?
Yeah, Brody.
Yeah.
Brody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how does it play? Because for me, the Far Cry game, so much of that is gunplay. And
It's a
obviously, there are no guns
No,
in this game.
it's a
So
Far Cry
how do
game
they-
without guns.
There's bows and arrows.
Yeah. You get a stick.
Stick,
Okay.
a spear,
You,
right?
have, you have a spear and a club.
And a club and a bee
And
grenade.
you could throw the club too.
Yes. You can throw the
nice.
spear.
You can throw pretty much everything you can throw.
Yes.
Okay.
You shoot arrows. You light everything on
Yeah,
fire.
you don't throw your bow, but you do project the arrows towards people rapidly.
So, I mean, you're basically spearing animals
Sure.
and stuff.
And
I usually set them on fire.
human animals too.
Oh,
That kills them a little quicker
okay.
than
I
just
would
jabbing them
think
with a
so.
spear while they're biting the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a Far Cry game. I mean, it absolutely is. It just doesn't have the vehicles and the guns. But everything else about it is damn near the same.
Are you
Yeah.
still skinning animals to make a wallet?
Oh, yes.
Well, not a wallet, but
An arrow pouch.
an arrow pouch, a basic overall kind of backpack where where you keep your pieces and parts in, because like everything means something else. Like
I
you,
keep my pieces and parts in my pants.
oh well, interesting. It's amazing what we've done with technology.
Yeah. I'm glad we're in the modern era.
The common era.
But no, I mean there are several different pouches besides just like you have a quiver, you know,
Bee grenade pouch.
and the quiver. Yes, you have like a consumable throwable pouch, but you also have like just kind of like your overall backpack, like where you keep the animal fats and things like that, the things you use to make other stuff.
Sinew.
You're just upgrading your ability to carry shit.
Right, essentially.
And you're also upgrading the huts of your friends.
Okay.
Yes.
You have friends in the village, and
Okay.
they need bigger huts. So you go skin some wolves
Yeah.
and get some reeds, and
Bring them back.
you bring them back, and magically they have a bigger hut.
Oh, well, that I'm sure they like you more then,
Yeah.
right?
They do, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, so Caveman Jack Johnson dies, gives you the pooks. You go back and you find some other people, and you find like you basically like you were on a hunt, but like you find out that like your tribe was basically decimated while you were away, and so you come back and you're like, oh shit, we're kind of fucked, and you find like another one was another survivor, and you're like, all right, cool, let's like it's a lady, so it's like, all right, let's start a new village, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Is that a sex thing?
No, you start a new village.
Okay.
You just open
In
up
case
a
I
new
wasn't
village.
clear, you start a new village.
Okay.
You just get a business license and open one up.
And you just start kind of like building up. Like you can upgrade her hut, your hut. There's like a hunter guy that will teach you. Like as you upgrade their huts, like she's a gatherer, so she'll teach you like basically like world understanding, like where you can see further in the world, and things like that. And,
Yeah, map making and
Map making.
how to understand all
Non-combat abilities.
right.
Yeah.
Exploration ability.
Because basically, you go out on missions to like find all the specialists, and then you bring them back, and then you have loyalty missions basically for those people.
Yeah.
Who are like, go get the thing, and then I'll teach you how to be a better guy at doing stuff, and so it's a lot of that.
So how do you climb a tower to show the map?
Well,
Stuff's pretty much all on the map.
it's all on the map.
really?
It's just whether or not you should go there. Like there's places you can't go. They're more like walled off because like there's one point where this one other faction tribe, whatever they are, kind of uses like poison weapons, and they've built up an immunity to it, so you can't get to their area without also learning how to craft a thing that will give you at least
okay.
temporary immunity to it.
Yeah.
So it kind of walls you off that way.
And there's a northern region that is ice.
Right.
So if you don't have the proper clothing, you can't stay there very long.
Right.
Okay.
Until eventually you get an upgrade that it lasts indefinitely.
Yeah, if you bring your lady the right stuff, she's like, here, have a jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So
So does it feel like a skin pack for Far Cry 4?
I don't think it does.
I think it does, but not in like a negative way. I mean, it just feels like an iteration on Far Cry 4, but there's enough content that it's a $60 game.
Okay.
I don't feel cheated at all.
It's not Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Blood Dragon was fine for what it was, but that was a short game, reskinned kind of thing. I think this kind of feels like its own world.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's the same map, but it doesn't feel like it because everything is so overgrown and, there's just so much vegetation and fucking animals everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is a problem for the first few hours of that game because it's just
Yeah.
nonstop, man. It's just 10,000 BCE sucked because animals
that
were
movie
like,
was not good. No.
animals were like, fuck you.
Well,
This is my area.
just
Don't
so
you
know,
see the picture
animals
of me?
Still are.
I know, but all your favorites from from
okay.
Far Cry are back.
Oh, are there terror birds?
No.
But there are badgers, and they're still very overpowered.
Yeah. Like, I had a cheetah friend, like
Yeah.
an actual cheetah. Badger fucked that thing up.
Really?
Cheetah didn't know what was coming.
Man.
Cheetahs never prospered.
That's right. So, there's still eagles. Eagles will just,
Oh, do they say
goddamn eagles!
yeah.
Ajay, eagle, look out.
over your head, eagle?
That's the bummer that you don't get that distant conversation thing happening.
You just
where
get someone going, "Walk, walk, eagle."
yeah, you just random shit and screaming a lot, but you never know if it's like your people screaming or other people screaming. It's
Yeah.
it's all just it's the worst. It's the worst possible place to be ever. But
About all that, I
it's-
prospered.
well, yes, eventually you do prosper. I think in the early going, as you're trying to piece together your
Well, they
village,
start you off slow.
Yeah.
I mean,
So is most of your activity hunting animals or training animals?
there are camps. You go and take over small camps. Of
So it is
bad
kind of
guys.
like those missions where you're taking an outpost, so to speak,
Yes.
in the modern
Kind
life.
of.
and if you're good at it and you do it undetected, you get a large bonus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a previous. I think it's even bigger than previous Far Cry's. Like your base, like if you take over a base in most basic terms, your base experience reward is 500 experience. I think until like the very end, and then it goes up a little bit because they're much larger and harder. If you do it undetected, you get like a bonus 1500. So there is a large reward for going stealthy.
Okay.
And-
or just not being detected. You can send your animal in, and they can go nuts and wreck shit.
What I've been doing is that you get an owl who you basically flip to owl mode and fly around.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
kind of like your primitive UAV.
yeah, and you fly over a camp, and the owl will target the bad guys.
Okay.
And you can tell the owl to send in your animal friend that you've tamed, and then you've just got a fucking cheetah running around this
Yeah.
camp just
This
eating everyone.
Animal Death Squad.
The
Yeah.
one thing we're really not saying is essentially this is Beastmaster the game.
Yes. Yeah, because you tame
Okay,
the
I'm back
animals.
in.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a giant sword, and there's not magic shit per se, but it's Beastmaster the game. Because
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, I tamed a saber-toothed tiger, and you can ride a saber-toothed tiger. So when you say there's no vehicles, there are vehicles.
Oh yeah,
Because you can ride
yeah.
certain animals.
yeah. You can ride a mammoth. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, let me just on a tangent for a second. There's a bonus mission.
Bonus mission. You get to be an old prospector.
The oldest prospector, because it's 10,000 BC.
There's free LC in the box, basically.
All right.
The retail thing comes with this extra thing, and it is the fucking worst.
What, the Mammoth Hunter?
Yes, fuck that thing. Like,
What's wrong with it?
well, you're a mammoth. You're controlling a mammoth through this whole
Sounds
thing.
good.
And,
oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a DLC. Okay, yeah, I remember.
and then there's just like murder rhinos everywhere, and it's just each mission is go into this area of ice and don't fall in the thing while a million ghost rhinos try to kill you, and they pretty much do every time. It is a pain in the ass.
I concur. I got through it, but that's not the part of the game I dislike. The one thing Far Cry needs to lose immediately, starting with Far Cry 5 or whatever we have coming up next, we don't need... Like, it was fine in Far Cry 3 when you were doing you've got to get fucked up, to understand Drug Guy better and learn about the thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, those missions, okay, because it was new, it was different. And then you had, like, the Shangri-La missions in Far Cry 4.
I liked those.
I really did not, and they were even worse than this one, in my opinion. Because, like...
They were difficult, but I liked them. It was a nice change of pace, I felt.
Those are kind of the inspiration for this, because you
Yeah.
had a ghost tiger or whatever in
Yeah.
that, and it was just basically like,
Sweet-ass
ghost
ghost
tiger,
tiger.
go kill
Yeah.
that guy.
Right.
Like, Ghost Tiger was awesome.
Well, there's a whole bunch of ones like this because, like, you've got a medicine man guy that you recruit for your village, and every time for a while, every time you go there, he's like wants you to drink a new concoction he's made that puts you in another dream world, and
Yeah, it's
makes
usually
you,
a skull full of blood.
So it's instead of those two burnouts that always drugged you in
Yes.
Far Cry 4.
Yeah.
Right.
He's just like, hey, drink this. And you're like, well, all right, whatever. I need to go build this hut, but I'll go on your crazy drug trip for it.
right. So
You're caveman.
That's-
That's your
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah, whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
Ain't shit else to do.
those missions kind of need to go away.
I'm okay with them. I don't mind them much, but
Maybe I did too many in too rapid of a sequence because I was like, oh shit, I haven't been doing these because I don't like them.
Oh.
So
you saved them all up.
I guess I inadvertently kind of did, and I was like, by the end, some of them were really pissing me off.
See, I took a lesson from how half the people here played Mad Max, which was not to marathon it, but just to play it in small chunks. So I've been doing it like do a couple of missions, and then on the way back, just do a bunch of random shit, and then quit out. So I've played an hour.
The other fun thing about this game is like your character. They rarely ever say, like, every once in a while they actually call you they don't something like Beastmaster. Like,
You have a name.
yeah, it's like, but your guy's name is Takar.
Yeah.
But your tribe is called the Winja. And most people just like they recognize people based on like their tribe. And so people see you and they go like, "Oh, Winja." So like the whole time, I'm just like,
Yeah.
eventually for me, it eventually became the "Oi, Winja."
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just walk up on people and they're just like,
Oh, Winja.
half the time I don't even know who's who. Like I have to target people to see if the thing turns red to know if it's a bad guy or not.
Sure.
But
Well, some of them are pretty obvious. Like they have different face paint and stuff. Like,
sure, yeah, oh yeah, and some of them are just huge
And they
monster
throw spears
guys.
and arrows at you.
They do. They yell at you.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
jump up and
the ones
down.
that attack, you should probably attack back.
There are three things I really like about this game. The first is when you start it up and you go back into it, it gives you a very brief but very concise. It's like a previously on segment, but not framed like that at all. It's like, let me tell you the tale of this character so far, and it tells you exactly where you left off. And I think that's great.
Yeah,
Because it tells you, like, here's the mission where you left off, here's the next thing you need to do.
What's funny is like I did the first couple of missions and then just did I'm going to go fuck around the world,
Yeah.
and so I didn't realize it changed
Oh.
Because like I was starting up the game every time, and I was like, well, skip that shit.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
it was the same thing every
Oh, okay,
time. Because
yeah.
like for like 5 times I went into the game, I hadn't actually progressed the story at all.
Gotcha.
And so like I was just like, well, this is kind of dumb. And then like all of a sudden I progressed the story, and I guess I was patient that day. I didn't hit the button. I was like, oh, it changed. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I wasn't doing main mission stuff.
So it sounds like a better version of what like the Batman games do, where as it's loading, it shows you still frames of like the story
Yeah.
stuff.
A lot of games are trying
But the
to do
Batman
that.
ones are just kind of like the story stuff, not necessarily like, oh, here's where you need to go next.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like,
basically
oh,
a reminder.
Joker said
like,
this,
yeah,
and then he
right.
said this, and here you are by Axis Chemicals.
Yeah. No, it's basically like Takar needs to go find some friends. So
Oh, yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, friends.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to be spoilery, so I don't know if I should say this or not.
All right.
But there's a character that shows up, and I don't know if you've gotten to them yet.
Okay.
At this point, I feel like you should jump in and know immediately what I'm talking about.
Is it one of your friends?
Yes, he's someone that is associated with your village.
Was he in a cave and is missing a limb?
No.
Okay.
All
This
right.
is thrilling conversation.
Yeah, I'm dancing around it. I'm just
Okay.
gonna say it. All right. So it's been kind of a running Far Cry joke for now, and I was like, are they gonna continue it? But
Herc?
is back in caveman
Herc's in
form. And he's called Erky.
Nice.
He's the same voice actor and everything, but doing that language, but he's still got the same like
Yes.
dopey Southern accent.
Yes.
And so he's just like, "Oota boota, it's boota, jikata."
Yes.
No, I haven't got to that yet.
And every mission is essentially like, "Watch, hey y'all, watch this," because like he's like, "Hey, Erky thinks he can fly, so go find him these special feathers, and he's going to jump off a cliff and show you how he can fly." So every
All right.
mission is like, yeah.
I'm back in on this
All right.
game.
That sounds pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah.
The other two things that I think are really good. I haven't got to that. That goes on the list, but so I'm playing on PS4. I think it looks really, really good. I mean, really good.
Yeah.
The facial animation and like the interaction and stuff. This looks really good. Like I remember like quitting Far Cry 3 was like this game. It doesn't look very good and it runs like ass. I think Far Cry has gotten to a point where it's like, hey, these games are all right. They work and they look great and there's no performance issues with it. And I think the graphics are really good. So that's something I haven't said a lot.
yeah.
lately.
And I'm not, I played it on PC, and all I wanted to say graphics wise is there was a sequence where I was kind of in the northern region, so it was a little bit snowy. It was night, and I was on a hill, and there was a full moon, and the way the friggin' moonlight was coming through the trees was just transcendent. Like there's no other way. I just wanted to stand there and stare, but it was night and there's wolves, and I couldn't. So it was just, it was
Far Cry the game.
utterly amazing.
It was night and there were wolves.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was just dumbfounded. I've never seen an effect in games look that good and that close to real life, like ever.
And then the last thing, this will go back to the Dead Space mechanic of stomping on things, but when you're running around with a spear and you jab dudes in the face with it,
Yeah.
it is the most fucking satisfying thing you do. Just like guys are just like throwing shit at you or whatever, and you just run straight out of Batman and go bah, and their head just kind of explodes, and the graphic comes up and says headshot. It's really satisfying. Like, even though it's a bit underpowered, like if you miss the head, just like, you're gonna stab him in the shoulder, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, it's worth it. It is
Yeah.
so much fun."
That sounds awesome.
It's equally fun throwing a spear into someone's
Oh
face.
sure, yes.
Yeah.
I just love the visceral thrill of just running right up on him and go, "Hey, guy, poke."
Yeah. Watch
No
your
more
head
face
explode
for
by
you.
being stabbed by a stick.
Yeah, unless you've just like been one of those people that are like throwing this aside, like it's a expansion, it shouldn't be $60, blah blah blah. There are a lot of fun things in this. Like the various weapons that you learn to craft are quite fun. Like you have a bee grenade. You have you can not only can you get like these little shard things that you can throw like kind of like throwing knives, but you can get one that like is essentially the berserk thing from Far Cry 4. Where you hit somebody and they turn on their friends and start beating them up or whatever, and there's a bomb version of it too that you can actually have your owl drop for you, and along with a bee bomb,
Nice.
you can have the owl bee bomb from up in the sky.
Ow,
I'll be bomb.
B-bomb.
Owl bee bomb.
I'll be bum.
I'll be right here.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a no-brainer. Like if it was $40, I think it would just be like, holy fuck, yeah, get Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it at 60.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
an
know-
Ubisoft game, so it'll be cheap soon. Anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So.
But I have no qualms how much I paid for that game. I think
cool.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yep. Same here.
Good deal.
Speaking of Ubisoft games,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got another Ubisoft game in the same month, didn't I?
You
Whoa.
did.
You got this one for nearly free.
Yes. Technically free.
The best kind of free.
I got The Division.
Tom Clancy's
Old
The
Man
Division.
Tom
Clancy's
Clancy's The Division.
The Division.
Clancy Brown's
Old
The
Dead
Division.
Man Clancy's The Division. I know it's probably like I feel like I go to work every day and I hear people talking about The Division, and I feel like I want to like The Division. I don't think I like The Division.
Oh no.
I played the open beta, and I was kind of already on the fence about it. Like after playing the beta, I was really into it, like based on early designs and pictures and what I was thinking the game was going to be in my head. Obviously,
Yeah.
Then played the beta and was like, oh, actually, no, maybe not. And then, as you were alluding to, I got the game on PC for free-ish by buying a keyboard, a gaming keyboard.
Yeah.
I'm saying
A
free-ish.
mechanical keyboard.
That sounds so terrible.
It does sound terrible, but I mean,
Clickety clack.
You didn't buy it. You didn't
Right.
buy the keyboard for the Division.
I was
You
shopping.
bought-
I was shopping for a
shopping for a
keyboard,
keyboard.
and it pushed me over the edge to buy the keyboard when I did, because it was like, "Hey, get a free copy of the Division." And I was like, "Well, that's essentially kind of like $60 off the game, so or off the keyboard." So
Well, it's $60 off
off
the
the
game.
It is
Yeah.
$60 off the game.
it's $60 off regardless.
Yes.
The best way I can sum up the Division, because everyone's going to be like, "Oh, it's just Destiny in somewhat modern time settings and some of the future. Or it's this or it's that."
Yeah.
Essentially, they have made World of Warcraft for the Call of Duty pros.
Okay.
That is what this game is.
Oh.
That's not fair, because it's not really like World of Warcraft, and I'll get into that exactly what I mean there. But it's an MMO. It's MMO style. Oh, that's a minor upgrade, and let me tweak that, and let me do
Yeah.
that, and let me do it all over again as soon as next thing drops. That doesn't invalidates everything else I've been doing up to this point. I think they should have either made a stronger single player game or gone all out on the MMO thing, because I have not joined another single person in my time in the game, and I'm at like a level 11 or 12. I think if it's like Destiny, it maxes at 25. I don't know for sure. To be fair, it's not really like World of Warcraft in that it's more like Guild Wars. As far as I can tell, because while you're in a common area like a safe house, that's where the other people are running around being dickheads and jumping jacking in front of doors and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right
Jumping jacking.
present tense verb of that, but doing jumping jacks in front of a doorway.
Jumping
Oh,
jacksing.
Yeah. Jumping jack
Jumps
flashing.
and jacking.
Jump jacksing.
Yes, all of that.
Jackson
in
jumping.
doorways. But like
Jim
this-
jiving and wailing.
the second you go outside the door, you're essentially alone unless you've gone with a party.
So it instances once you're outside.
It seems to be. I've not found anyone randomly walking around. BJ said in the beta he did, but it's possible they were just on his friends list, so it was like
Yeah,
here.
one of the guys from my friends list showed up in the game. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm gonna run around and
And either they joined
pal
your
around with
game
him.
because sometimes
yeah, I
you
don't
can
know.
do that. Like some games, it's just like, hey, jump into that person's game,
Yeah.
or it was just like, hey, you're friends, so here, let's just put you in the same part because you're in the same part. So I don't know, but like I've not encountered anyone that wasn't an AI or enemy dude, except for when I'm in those like common areas. I don't hate the game. It's just clearly not for me. I don't really have much inkling to or desire to play it, so I have been like trying to get and play enough so that I'm thinking like I'm going to cross that like, oh, here's the thing that I was missing, and this is what makes it good. I just haven't hit it yet, and if I am level 12 and 25 is the max, and I'm halfway there,
Yeah.
did you think I would have hit it by now? The one thing I will say right off the bat that about whoever designed this game and how they can fuck right off is don't. If your game involves a lot of running around and repetition and traveling around and retrying missions and going here, make the fast travel and getting out of safe houses faster. Like, there is no reason. Like, there is one, it's called like the Cistern or something, I don't know, something underground, like sounding safe house. That's like one of the third or fourth one you open up. And I swear, you saw me do it. It takes like 3 minutes just to run out of the house or out of the safe house. Like
you climbed a lot of ladders.
You got to climb like 4 ladders and walk a fairly decent way through the sewer system, and that's the only way in or out of this place. So if you fast travel there, get ready to take 3 minutes of climbing out of the fucking place.
And value.
And I don't understand why. Like, I mean, I don't understand why. I guess if there's a hidden loading screen going on there, like how your guy slows down when you walk into the primary base of operations, if that's a hidden loading screen of like, all right, let's populate it with some dudes. Okay. I mean, I'd almost rather it just say loading and come up and do that than that weird artificial, like, oh, I'm walking real slow, whereas I was just running full sprint a second ago.
Well,
and then it goes full sprint once you're inside the door.
Yeah.
So it's bizarre.
the interesting thing, I guess, like, at least in that particular safe house, that one in the main center of or where you start almost, is when you walk in, it puts all that, augmented reality stuff on the wall for like how your base is doing, and that's kind of neat that it at least gives you something to look at when you're slowed down. And
that's nice because as you're walking in, you can go like, oh, I was working towards having enough resources to do this upgrade.
Yeah.
Now I can know that without running back to the medical wing.
it's an interesting but sometimes annoying design choice when you're like, I know what I need to run back here for.
Right.
I don't need to slow down. But I mean, as far as like if it is a loading thing where you're crossing that threshold into a shared environment, then it's kind of nice. I mean, I'm not agreeing with necessarily with the choice to make you slow down at that point, but it seems to work really well.
Yeah,
because it's fairly seamless when you walk through.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like I said, if slowing down walking, that's actually honestly like the least egregious of all the safe house exits there are, because there are a lot of them, and they all seem to have like, oh, go down this hallway and turn here and go through the door, and it's like, just like, if they need to all be underground, fine, put one ladder that when I click on it, the guy climbs, and while he's climbing it loads a screen. Like, just one thing. Like, when I fast travel, I want to be able to essentially turn around, walk out, and run to the mission that I probably fast traveled there for. Not, right. I don't necessarily need to stop and do all this shit every time. And it just seems like they all of their usability choices are poor. Like, there's so much shit on the screen when you're in like your inventory management, to the point that like to actually see the stats on the weapon or what it's going to change on your weapon, you have to scroll. And I'm like, there's all of this screen real estate being wasted by all of this UI and everything, and I have to scroll to see what all the bonuses are for equipping this or that. I'm like, kill some of that when I'm in this page or something. It just needs some optimization there, guys. Like, it seems like they put all of their people on environment, level design, because it's like the game is gorgeous. I mean, it always has been, and unlike Watch_Dogs, like when it came out, it looked like the early demos did, and it runs like the early demos did.
Yeah.
And maybe even better, so that's the crazy thing is like, the game is gorgeous, but I just don't really want to play it. So,
well, that's a problem with video games.
It is a little bit of a problem. I mean, I'm still playing it for now. I got to at least go into the dark zone once, because that's like the PvP, no holds barred, anything goes kind of area. So I've got to at least see that. Mm-hmm. But, I've been kind of trying to gear up for it a little bit at first.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect once I go there, but that may be where it changes the game for all I know. Like, oh, this is fun. I don't know.
I'd hope so.
It's just, it's awfully clunky at times. Like, their little, like, snap to cover, climb over cover, duck around cover. Sometimes, like, your guy just gets stuck in cover, and I'm like, guy is coming at me, I need to move, and get me the fuck off the cover.
Yeah.
Or the worst, you accidentally hit the button and you climb up on top of the cover, thus exposing yourself of like, oh, great, now I'm standing on top of the car that I was hiding behind. Everyone shoot me, please.
Yeah. That's always the best.
That was taking a little bit of time for me to get used to in the beta, but I kind of liked where they were going with it.
It's fun until they introduce like flamethrower dudes, which there are plenty. Because then they can almost like shoot it around corners and things, and there are times when you're just like, get me the fuck away from the flamethrower guy.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to pop out of cover sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, maybe I might report back next month if I continue playing it. See if my mood has changed.
From what I've heard, you need a group.
Maybe.
Like, that's what keeps it fun. It's kind of like trying to play Destiny by yourself. You're just going to be like, eh. Eventually, you're just going to get sick of it because the progression is so slow. Yeah,
then I probably won't keep playing. If that's the magic sauce of it, I'm not going to keep playing, because anytime, I know we're not all going to do it, and anytime I ever try to coordinate that with anybody of like, hey man, let's all get this game, it never fucking happens.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, I like that the day the game came out, everyone on Twitter was like, hey guys, we're all on Xbox One playing this. And we're like, fucking none of us got that on Xbox One. And probably wouldn't. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Moving on. I feel like I'm talking a lot now, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, you got
Speaking of games Harlow played,
Well, I guess we're in like Telltale corner because I'm going to start talking about Tales from the Borderlands.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's a good game.
Yeah, I have played episode 1. I'm going to
Okay.
play more.
All right.
I agree with you. Like, I figured it was high time for me to play this because, like, I guess I feel like I'm the resident Borderlands expert. I feel like I'm the only one at the table that's actually completed all Borderlands to see all content, essentially.
Yeah, you're the only one who's played pre-sequel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well,
Automatic.
You played it
I
like
think
16
I
times.
think I'm the only one that made it through all the DLC and 2 and stuff. So
Yeah,
you know, like,
I dropped off
Right.
after they took away my badass ranks.
sure. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see another company. Like, I kind of wonder where Gearbox had their hand in it, or if they did at all, because it's very strange to see another company step in and essentially make something in the same universe with the same kind of humor and method of talking that people have. That's a very weird thing, but they pull it off quite well. Like, it just immediately was like, oh yeah, I'm on Pandora, or thereabouts, and there's Borderlands shit happening.
Were the writers from Borderlands involved in?
That's what I don't
Tales?
know. I really don't know the backstory if anyone got involved with that. I say all that, and I'm enjoying the game because the story is interesting. But my God, it is so good that Telltale is good at telling tales because they fucking suck at making video games. Because my God,
gauntlet
like
tossed.
I just thought like it was like going to be better. Like I feel like every time it's going to iterate, it's like nah, they got their engine and it kind of blows, but they're going to keep
They're
cranking
sticking
out
with
games.
it.
Yeah, they're
Like it feels almost like they got that engine built and then they fired that team.
yeah.
And just kept like the story and the puzzle designers, and that's it.
Yeah, I know nobody wants the quote unquote walking simulator or story simulator, but at a certain point I was playing this game, I was like, this would be so much easier if I could just watch it and push buttons to make dialogue choices, because everything in between is excruciating. Like, walking is dumb, and interacting is dumb, and like walking here and like looking for the thing to make it interact is dumb. And but like the second they start talking, I'm like, all right. Okay, I can power through this because this is so good, but everything where they're not talking is just bad. It's just bad. And then they all are. I'm not singling this game out. I'm saying all Telltale games are bad
Well,
when they're trying to be games.
As someone who has played them as they come out and played all of them as they come out, there's a progression. They're not as bad as they used to be. So jumping right into this, I could see you going, yeah, fuck this game.
they
It's
don't-
not a game.
I
but,
believe they at one point in time they had tank controls. Didn't they?
I think like maybe the first season of The Walking Dead was like that. Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
I can't remember now.
Or Jurassic Park. One of early on.
I
It
was
was
saying,
not,
like, I mean, I think the only other experience I had prior to Walking Dead was I think I played some of the Strong Bad one.
okay.
But yeah, like that was bad. I admit they've gotten better than that. They just haven't gotten good. Because like, if it's not just walking around looking for thing to trigger next event, then it's QuickTime events and lots of QuickTime events. Especially in this one, like you'll just be walking along and all of a sudden it's like guy popped out from around the push left, and it's just a whole lot of that. It's like, well, man, it's. As I said, it's so good. The dialogue is so good because everything else is not good.
See,
I also like the dual. You're playing dual roles in this one.
Yeah.
Like it jumps between two characters, which is interesting to me.
Yeah, so it's like when this person is doing this, it'll flash to the other character, and it's like, what was that person doing this time?
Right.
And so it's kind of a disconnect, but whatever. The writing is good and jokey. And the thing that, you and I talked about this at one point about it, the thing that I like about this game is that it's kind of making fun of the other Telltale games as well. There's a bit where you can basically slap a character. And if you choose to slap the character, the prompt comes up on the screen and says character's face will remember that. It doesn't mean that the character's going to it's just making fun of themselves.
Yeah.
That whole dumb person will remember your decision you just made. It's just dumb throwaway.
Well, and it's
jokes.
sad that like when that first showed up, it was like, oh, this is a very cool thing. 'Cause it's like letting you know that all that stuff works, and then it was just became one of those things like, well, we have to do that now.
Yeah.
Like people expect that, so it's got to be in it. And it's kind of like there are a lot of people who, and apparently there were some of the designers on like the first season of Walking Dead were like, yeah, we didn't want that. We wanted to shut that off, and
Right.
now it's like in every single one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's less prevalent. Definitely. Because I have played the new Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
the new
Michonne.
unrelated.
Let me say
miniseries.
one last thing about Tales from Borderlands.
Okay.
I there's something to be said about Mass Effect style. Like good is always up and bad is always down.
Right.
There's something to be said about that because, like, in some of the cases where choices are timed, they need to be in the same spot.
Yeah.
Because, like, by default, I was barely paying attention. I was like, "Oh shit, time!" And I hit a button and did something very bad. I killed Loaderbot, and I was like, I loaded my save. I was like, "Fuck that! I didn't mean to hit that button. That is not my choice. You know, like that is not my fault. Like I was just used to like the nice expression being like a certain, I think A, and I was just like, and it was like, no, blow the fuck up. It was A, and I'm like, what? No, like that's no.
Yeah.
So like I just. If you're going to do that, just have consistency. That's all I ask.
Yeah, put the mood on the same spot every
Right.
time. So this is always the grumpy answer.
Color coded or something.
Something, yeah.
So.
Anyway, that's all.
But yeah. So Michonne.
That's the new Walking Dead game.
Does it feel tied into season 1 or season 2? Because I know it was the flavor text or whatever it was for the sale page, I believe, on Xbox One. Pretty much said, okay, remember these issues of the comic? Here's where she was during those issues.
Yeah.
Is how it's presented in the sale part of it.
I mean, visually, obviously, it looks like the other Walking Dead games, but it looks like every Telltale game, so that's not really unique to the Walking Dead anymore. It never at any time references Walking Dead Season 1, Season 2.
Okay.
So it is very much... I mean, it could... Like, if you weren't aware of the comic at all, if you weren't aware of the show at all, and all you were aware of was the game, you would just think this is a story happening somewhere else in that world.
Yeah.
Because this takes place on the water, which I think is fascinating. You're in a boat with other survivors, and you're trying to find other people on boats. So that's different. It's not just walking through the woods doing stuff. And then you find, like, you know, a flotilla group of people who have all banded together, and they're kind of bad.
Of course.
So... It's unique. I mean, you know, it's that game. It's either you like it or you don't. I did notice though that in the opening credits, and I think this is the first time they've made this change. I could be wrong, but it actually came up and said a Telltale story, not a Telltale game, which I think is a very interesting distinction now.
Yeah.
Because they used to say a Telltale game by, and then it would give like the creators. Now it says
probably because they realize they suck at making games.
I think they've released that video saying they just make glorified fan fiction basically, and they just take existing properties and kind of make.
Wasn't them.
No, yeah, that was the guy. That was
whatever.
That was the CEO of Telltale doing that game.
Telltale.
Oh.
Yes,
I
Mr.
just thought that was just internet dickheads.
No.
Internet
That's
dickheads.
their series. Is they go out and they find the creators of things and they break it down in the simplest of terms. And
all right.
That guy was just like, yeah, we make glorified fan fiction and kind of make it a game, but we're not really good at that. So, but you know, if you're in on the Walking Dead games, this is more of that. You make tough choices. People die.
Yeah.
Michonne doesn't die.
I wouldn't think so.
Although it's weird, the first choice you get in the game is that you're going to kill yourself. And the choice is pull the trigger, don't pull the trigger. And I'm like, well, if I pull the trigger, the game ends. Why would I do that?
I would do that.
But now I'm like super tempted to go back and be like, well, wait, what happens if you pull the trigger?
Don't you have more than one save slot? Just if it's right at the beginning, just do it.
You could, but at the time I was like,
Probably
I'm not pulling the trigger.
Probably not the right advice when faced with a suicide choice.
No,
but,
no.
I'm saying in video game terms.
Yes, you do have a
let's go
safe
ahead and do
spot.
that.
Yeah, sure. Video games, not like life.
Not like life at all.
No. Yeah. So it's fine. You know, if you like The Walking Dead, it's more Walking Dead.
Okay. How's the voice actress for Michonne?
She's good. She's from Orange is the New Black,
Okay.
but she's not
Oh, who is it?
lady from Orange is the New Black. I don't know which one. I don't watch that show. She's not so different from the character on TV that it's jarring, but it's different enough to be like, okay, this is not the same character.
Yeah. Because like comic version was somewhat different from
Yeah.
TV version.
Yeah.
And I know that they're kind of
It fits her.
basing it on the comic.
And they're diving into her backstory, which is crushing.
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
The
So
Walking Dead.
yeah.
Well, it's funny because you started that story about like how they were out in the water in a boat and flotilla, and I'm like, why the fuck don't people do that with zombies? You know, like that seems like the best way to escape zombies.
Well,
Fear the Walking Dead season 2 comes out.
yeah.
This season where they do exactly that.
And I will just say that
Dead?
your
That's the other show.
yeah,
Yeah.
your
I can't
idea
keep track of all this shit anymore.
that would be safer is not a great idea.
No?
No.
Well, I mean, you said there's asshole people, but...
There's zombies
Oh, okay.
hanging out underwater.
Yeah. They can't drown.
No, they're dead.
Can they swim?
No, they're just hanging out down there,
float?
but you get shallow enough, and all of a sudden there's fucking underwater
Don't go
zombies.
shallow. I'm saying, like, hang out in the middle of the fucking ocean in a flotilla.
Well, then you're water
fish.
Yeah.
Yes, water world the fuck up. That's how you
All right.
survive zombies.
You can't piss into a Mr. Coffee and get Taster's Choice.
You really can't.
Right.
So
There's a
true.
concern about water out there.
So true.
That's what they
But
always say.
you can make those things that, like, when they
Mr.
evaporate...
Coffee? You know, I know what you're talking
Yes.
about. I saw
Desalinizer
meme,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
You could do that. You can make, I don't know, fucking go sit in the middle of a Great Lake. I don't know. They're freshwater.
Right, exactly.
I
Fuck
hear
everything.
they're pretty good.
Yeah. They're all right. There are big-ass lakes on this
Just don't hook a zombie. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
if you're
just,
fishing, don't hook a zombie.
Right.
That's the rule.
That's what you got.
Well, if you can make enough fresh water, you could just have a garden in the center and just go vegan or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch any zombies.
that's a
then.
fate worse than death.
Whatever.
Oh, man.
So,
Let's talk about the next game.
yeah, let's do a little mini PS Plus corner here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, first one up, Broforce.
Broforce!
We all played Broforce.
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 Brofers.
Welcome to the fold, John.
Harl Bro.
Bro J.
Bro Mackie. Brock.
I will admit my favorite when it came up, which I don't know why it didn't even occur to me, but was Brobocop.
It's pretty good.
I was like, okay.
Robocop.
But yeah,
It's dumb.
double Bro 7. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I've
Ellen
unlocked
Bro.
I have not unlocked Double Bro 7 yet.
Don't bother. Well, don't worry about it. He's useless.
Well, okay, so
He's better than Bro Guyver.
yeah, all right, hold on. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about
Okay.
the big picture of the game before we argue about our favorite bros.
The big picture of the game is a goddamn eagle with muscles.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Broforce is essentially a side scroller. I mean, it's like a 2D.
It's like a little Contra type
Kind
thing,
of, yes.
but
Yeah.
if your characters were super small on the screen and could destroy the environment
Right.
Yeah.
That's
and could climb walls.
well said. Yes.
It's got a little touch of spelunking in there.
A little
touch.
bit, but
In that you can destroy all of the, destroy all of the map or all of the
Yeah.
level.
It's got voxels. Like Resogun.
sure.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You blow up some stuff.
But it's like your characters are so tiny
Yeah.
that it's almost like it's tough to tell which one it is unless you look at the portrait down on the bottom left.
right.
But the levels are real short and small.
Well, some of them are.
Well, yeah, as you go, it becomes a bit crazier.
Yes, it does.
But you basically start out as Rambro, and that's your only life. And the way that you gain lives as you go through the level is you find dudes, POWs to rescue.
They're
And
also
after-
bros.
Yes, they're also bros, of course. Like Bromando or I'm trying to remember some of the other ones.
Brodator.
Broade. I don't remember
What do they call
blades.
John McClane? Is he just bro hard?
yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Brohard,
Brohard. Yeah. But so after you rescue a certain number of them, you've unlocked a new hero, which B.A. Broracus was one of them as well, who has a flamethrower.
Yeah, he was early.
And each one has a different type of weapon.
Brominator.
Yeah. Yeah, each one has a different type of weapon. Your Rambo is pretty much, all right, he's got a gun that's going to work like a machine gun, and he's got grenades are his limited special power.
Also, I have a problem with them calling him Mr. Andrew Bro and not Nebro because it should be instead of Neo, it should be Nebro.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little,
Yeah. See, I hadn't unlocked him yet.
Well, like
Because there are, as you can guess, there are a ton of guys.
Is it
who
random
end up
unlocks?
no,
No.
it's based on the number of
I know, but is
like the order that
Yeah,
they come
the
out.
order.
It's an order.
Is it?
I think
Is it?
so.
Okay.
Yeah, the guys you unlock as you hit certain milestones, yes. But then when you free a guy in a level, if you're controlling, say, Rambo, and you unlock Brobocop is the guy that you freed, you become that character now. That's your life, and that means you have to deal with the way that they shoot and the special abilities they have.
Yep.
So it's constantly changing the way that you play that level.
Yeah, it becomes very much a push-pull of, okay, I've got Bromando who has a freaking rocket launcher, and I know that I'm going to fight a helicopter at the end of this level, so I probably don't want to try and save any guys, because I like having that weapon. Yeah,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're going to lock Brogiver, who has these little dynamite packs that don't go far or stick to something, and then you kind of have to run away from it so you don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
And he's difficult to use in a way I did not enjoy at all. So every time I got him, I was immediately like, all right, how the hell do I unlock a guy as soon as possible?
I don't know. I really like MacGyver or whatever. I'm not even going to
Brogiver. I really like the turkey bombs.
Yes.
Those are the best things in the world.
I already got the achievement for like Last Supper, I think it's called.
Did you get 12 guys on the... Jesus.
I almost locked up my PS4. That's how much voxels
Yeah.
there were. Like my
Jesus.
PS4 went.
I think I came close. You have to toss it at one of the trucks that comes in and unloads dudes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, I think
okay.
I waited
gotcha.
for the
door?
the door where they just infinitely spawn, and
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
but yeah, you can almost hard freeze your PS4 with that move.
Yeah, the only
I've-
one I did was I got the trophy for throwing the Satan off of the cliff with Bromando, because it's called I Told You I'd Kill You Last.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
I
nice.
just got lucky and had him at the end, and
I just got the blade one, which is just deflect bullets or some
yep,
shit.
yeah,
so.
I got that one too.
Yeah.
What do you do? Just stand there and he deflects bullets?
At
If
some
you
point,
swing
you,
at a bullet, he
Okay.
will deflect it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because his main attack is just a sword slash.
Right,
There's
right,
no
yeah.
projectile. You have to use the other.
Yeah. But if you
Basically,
just
your melee attack is your sword is your projectile attack with him.
yeah, but if you just keep slashing, nothing will get to you because you're deflecting.
You
I-
can still get shot.
Really?
Yeah, it's. I discovered that.
Oh, okay.
I wonder how.
So, can you do online multiplayer with this, or is it just local? Anyone check?
I think it's online.
I think you can.
I'm pretty sure it's online.
yeah.
Because I would like to play this multiplayer. Because like I played this game a long time ago. Like this has been on the PC for like 2 years.
Early access for
Yeah,
a long time.
like a really long time. And so like it hasn't like the crazy thing is it hasn't changed all that much. Like I think they cleaned up the overworld and the loading screens and stuff like that are a lot like more taxing you would think than they should be in a game like this. But like it's still essentially the same game, and they've added more dudes, I guess. But like I always really liked this game, and like it's just funny because like I fell right back into it. I was like where I just like started playing. I was like, oh, look at the time. It's
Right.
now 3 hours later because I've been running
Yeah.
through this like crazy.
Yeah, I kind of mainlined it. Only thing, like my only real quibble with the game. Okay, I have two. I'll start with the lesser, I think, of them. In between levels, sometimes it would feel like it's taking forever to load, and doesn't give you any indication that it's loading. So I thought it had locked up at several points. At one point, I just was like, okay, I'm going to wait for it to do something. And after 3 or 4 minutes of loading, it finally went into the next level. The other thing is, I don't think in the middle of a set of levels, I don't know what they're called. So like each one of those locations that you go to, you do a number of levels within that. And does it save your progress in those if you quit the game? 'Cause I don't
Yes.
think- does it?
I think it does. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Well, like okay, so like there's those like challenge levels that like you do the number ones and then they have the C that comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like some of them were like most of them are almost always like one life only.
Yeah.
One life to get through the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I found that if you started again, it would start you at checkpoints. So like you'd still only have one life, but it would jump you ahead to the checkpoint that you got to.
Oh,
That's
okay,
good,
interesting. Yeah, okay. So maybe I just was not, because I played the entire game in basically 2 sessions. I played through like 95% of the game, got to the last set of levels, and then I left and came back, and it felt like I was going through an awful lot of levels once again, but I could be entirely wrong.
Well, it sounds like you've played more of it than
yeah,
the rest of
I
us
have
did.
completed the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have not.
You do
No,
not play as Batman, in case you were wondering.
About 40, I think mine says 40%, 50%, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I beat that motherfucker to death.
Yeah, I guess
It was not easy.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah, because it amps up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it does.
You know, once you get to the third or fourth zone, then suddenly it's you're basically having to start over. Once you run out of lives, you're like, oh shit, wait a minute.
Well, the environment starts playing more into the levels than it was at the beginning. At the beginning, it was just basically shoot everything and get out.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like, oh, I got to trigger this to go do that and blow this part up. And
Also, I have to do something fast enough so that the bad guys don't blow everything up so that I can't climb. And
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are a couple of those boss fights that are just a kick in the dick.
Yeah, once they started introducing bosses, I was like, oh, here we go, because there's not a lot of strategy to that. It's just fill them with bullets
Yeah, I mean,
or throw turkey bombs at them.
they do that thing where they do sort of like the pattern thing, like a bunch of the old 16-bit games where each boss has a specific pattern and you have to do a specific thing and find their weak point or whatever. There's actually a couple nods to like Contra Metroid type stuff later in the game, which I think are kind of cute.
Yeah. I appreciate this. This game does the thing. It's just a joke stolen from South Park, basically. But like whenever a dude dies, they just go bleh. That always makes me laugh. I don't know why. Just anytime you kill a guy, just bleh.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how I'm gonna go out.
it's a fun game with a fun presentation because when you do unlock a guy, it's like RoboCop, and it smashes onto the screen, and it's got like a flag waving behind him, and just that stuff's fun. But the game felt a bit too repetitive to me. And when you get to the end of the level, it gives you like a kill count, but it's not a number. It's just like, here's the pile of things. And it's kind of like, that made me think like, am I supposed to be doing this differently? Like to get that better, or does it even matter? I mean, if I did a no-kill run, which would be dumb, but is it going to care if I do that?
Yeah, because some dudes are like decimated on that final kill tally thing, and some of them are just kind of sitting there.
It depends on whether you shoot them or whether you blow them up.
Does it?
But, yeah.
Oh, okay. So if they're just a puddle of goo, or
Then you've blown them up.
I see. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like it's simplistic almost to a fault. In that it's kind of like, oh, I might like more information about that, but they're like, no, just go kill, go.
Right.
Did anyone else notice on the PS4 at least, like 5 seconds after a level would load, it would almost like your guy couldn't move?
Yes.
What is that?
That's everyone's having that problem.
It's a glitch.
Oh, okay. Because there were a couple levels where
That fucked me.
well, there's a
pretty
couple
bad
levels
couple
that's
times,
really
yeah.
bad because like there's shit happening immediately.
Yeah.
Like there's one where like your first action, it's like a couple of like bombs are coming in and you got to dive out of the way, and so that's fucked.
I also didn't know that you could hold. There's some button that you hold to run.
Yeah,
That I never found out until I was trying to.
The second challenge, I was like, there's this big gap, and I was like, how
I had
the
to look
fuck are
that
you
up.
supposed to make this? And all of a sudden, I was like, I think I just accidentally mashed the run button. And I was like, oh shit.
That would have saved me a lot of trouble in the end game, because there's a point where you have to run away from a thing, and I'm like pixels in front of it, just jumping and going like fucking Twitch madness, just losing my mind over this game, trying to jump and run up ladders and shit to get out of the way of this thing.
There's like one level, I don't know what number it is, but there's one where you have those pipelines that can explode and like kind of chain react down, and there's one where you've got to like get over it while it's exploding, hit it, and then start climbing before it all blows up. And like without the run button, luckily I discovered it at that point.
Is that one of the challenges?
No, I think that was a regular level. I don't know. I could be wrong. But like it was just like you were supposed to use this pipeline that was exploding. Even if you didn't shoot it, it would explode just by hitting a certain point in the screen. And you had to like bounce
that's
over
one of
it.
the challenges with the time bro.
Okay. I haven't unlocked him, so maybe not. I don't know.
Oh.
Whatever. But anyway, yeah, like the run button, like point that out a little faster next time, guys. Just I don't know. It's funny because I feel like we always are like, man, tutorials in video games, what the fuck's that about? Like, but there's a fine line between here's how you look and move to here's all the buttons and what they can do, and when you combine them, here's a thing that's unique to this game. Don't teach me how to play basic game. Teach me how to play your game. That's all I need.
Speaking of that,
All right.
the next game up we have is Galaxy,
Galaxy.
which
I
has been
get
out
it.
for a while, but
It's like Galaxy.
yeah,
It is.
Even though you're flying Gallic A in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
do you eventually fly Galaxy?
I would hope so. But that was the other free one. It's been out for a while, but just put on PS Plus at least.
Freebie.
Yeah. And
Free S Plus.
it is kind of like Asteroids, but with more like exploration as far as like movement through the level type thing. It's not like, Asteroids is very much like, all right, just scrolling through. But the movement is Asteroids like, where you have a thruster, even though where you aim is, I don't know. I didn't like the control on this. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's like
The-
tank style spaceship control.
It
Like
kinda
you've
was,
got, you've
but it
got
kinda
forward and
wasn't
back,
for
and then
me.
you've got like turn. And
Yeah, you're moving as if you were the pilot, not that you're controlling a thing on screen. So like,
Yeah.
if you move left, you're turning the ship left and
Right.
then thrusting that way.
I couldn't get the hang of it, and Chuck and I both ran into a strange glitch in the game, which I'm not sure if it came with the new patch or what.
Well, let me
This
ask you
game
this.
has been patched 5 times now.
Yeah, at some point maybe it happened. But let me ask you this: Did you die at any point during the tutorial?
No.
Okay, I did. So that doesn't explain what happened.
I did not. But anyway, it's basically giving you the PC controls on the screen for the PS4 game.
Uh-huh. Which is fine. You can figure shit
I
out.
looked up the controls. Yeah, I figured it out pretty quickly. Okay, R2's R2's your thrust, L2's your brake. X is going to be your shoot. And it was weird. After a certain point, if I held down X, it would swap over to show the PS4 controls
Right.
on the bottom of the screen.
Like it was a toggle. Like
Yeah,
press
like it
X
was a
to see
toggle.
your controls.
Problem is, X shoots, and you get to a point where they're like, shoot the probes.
Yeah.
And X does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
X wouldn't shoot anything. And I was like, that's not good. And eventually I got missiles so I could shoot the thing, but I only had a certain number of missiles, and I used those up, and I was like, I still can't shoot anything with X, so that's pretty silly.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird bug.
Yeah.
And I didn't have it when I first started the tutorial because I was getting like the thrust controls and I
Yeah.
knew exactly R1, R2. I knew what was happening. At some point, I glanced back at the screen and I'm like, wait, why does it say S and W and why is there
Yep.
a left mouse button on the screen? I'm like, okay, fine. They fucked this thing up. Whatever. Something toggled and that code is in this, which is dumb, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I'll just keep shooting. And it's like, oh, X now makes the right controls show up on the screen, but it doesn't do what X used to do.
Yeah. Which is shoot.
I kind of need to do
Kind of
that.
important in a shooter.
So, I made it through the tutorial by running, basically.
I quit. I was like, after I used up my missiles, I'm like, I'm not going to bother with it.
yeah, you basically...
it needs a patch, clearly. So I submitted a patch report to
Yeah.
the developers and said, hey, just so you know, you can't shoot in your shooter.
just so you know.
Yeah, just a quick FYI. I like to shoot in my shooters.
You know that
Just,
shooter you made? Ain't no shooting in it.
yeah. You know your shmup? It's missing the sh.
yes,
Shmup, more like schmuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was
But-
not happy.
But I did like, the thing is, the style's kind of fun, even if it's a bit weird in that it's
It is
presented.
weird.
It's
Like,
presented like a VHS tape.
I haven't figured that out. Like, all right, the closest thing, like the game itself, not like the menus and the pause and all of that, and the boot up
yeah.
screen is like you've popped in a VHS tape, and all I can think is like the devs are like, man, like remember when we used to like rent Robotech on VHS and Macross and all this shit? Well, that'd be cool if like it's like that, and you're just jumping into this 70s
Yeah, but
this
the thing
80s
is-
/ repurposed 70s anime
you
thing.
have to be consistent with that. You can't just put it
Sure.
in some section. Like you think about Alien Isolation.
Right.
Consistent throughout the way they do those menus and handle the VHS type stuff, and
Yeah.
it's exactly how it should be. This one is kind of like, all right, we got modern Japanesey game here, and then all of a sudden you've got the VHS stuff pops up out of nowhere. It's like only when you're pausing,
Right.
Yeah.
it's suddenly you see the scan lines and the somebody's rewound the tape too much on this point, wiggle lines on the side.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the graphics are kind of like Borderlands cel-shaded, like...
They're very
like,
anime.
Like, the video game is kind of pixely, but then, like, the backgrounds are very cel-shaded, and then when you get into cutscenes, it's super Borderlands-y, and it's almost like Beautiful Joe kind of looking character models.
Yeah.
Like skinny bodies, big head.
Big giant head, which is basically just a helmet. So it's, I don't know, it has style, but the style is fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like, pick a style, guys. Like, you got to have some sort of uniform something here.
Yeah.
And
But I
fix your
can't
controls.
I can't tell you much else about it because
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to even bother trying to do this if I can't shoot
Yeah.
until they put a patch out. So.
I figured out how to finish the tutorial because there's this glowing orb thing on the screen that you're supposed to fly into, but it just has a big E over it. And I'm like, I don't have an E button. So I just hit all the buttons until the orb started pulsating, and I flew into the hangar and that it initiated a cutscene and got it.
In the future, you can press any E.
Press any E to
Press any
continue.
E. Okay, well, I did. And I got through it, and then it started, a cutscene. I was like, nah. Fix your game, then I'll come back to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I played through it, didn't have any errors. I mean, all I can really say is I don't know if eventually it's going to have the Metroidvania style, like, oh, you can go to this place you couldn't go before. I mean, the levels are super linear, so I don't really see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
But the progression is, I mean, all the controls are asteroids, tank-style spaceship controls, but, like, the level progression is, like insanely twisted. Shadow Planet, or what was that game they gave away free on the 360 when they killed Xbox one time? It was like the
Feeding
diving
Frenzy?
Is that what it was? It was like a diving... Undertow.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, the diving game. It was like, you kind of like go over here, and now you can get over here.
Yep.
Some things in the environment will pop out and try to eat you, but you're mostly worried about the enemies. So, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I straight up kind of didn't enjoy it because of the gameplay style, not because of anything that was broken.
And I don't know if I like the gameplay or not, because I
All right.
couldn't play the game.
Find out when we can shoot.
So, jury's still out.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Speaking of juries,
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, snap.
There you go. I've been playing a shit ton of The Witness. Because you have witnesses and juries. And,
Right, we get it.
case closed.
I'm the segue breaker.
there you go. Yeah, The Witness. I am basically doing the endgame stuff. I've finished over 500 puzzles, over 100 of the bonus puzzles that you're not supposed to know about, but I'll just say they're bonus puzzles.
All right.
And I've started doing streaming stuff of me doing the challenge, which is the final area, which is randomized. It's the same type of puzzles, but you have a time limit that's incredibly strict, and the puzzles are randomized.
Ew.
And yeah, there's...
You must understand all of the concepts of all of the puzzles in this game.
And you have to be able to be super quick about them. Like you have to be able to look at a puzzle and go, "That's the solution."
So if you used a guide to get you through the game, you're fucked.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's not a thing that you're required to do.
No, I know.
to
I'm
finish
just
the
saying,
game.
like, if you wanted to do it, you
Yeah.
couldn't just
Right.
brute force your way through it.
Having played through everything else, I didn't do the end section, but I actually got to the end credits by basically a solution that they give you at a certain point when you get near the challenge at the end. That kind of that basically lets you see the credits area of the game early, and you can actually input that very early in the game and just skip straight to that and see what the ending is. Which I talked to BJ, and it's the same ending you get if you actually go through the end of the game, which is a video sequence that's weird,
Well, wait, no.
to say the least.
Like, if you go through the... You only get that if you go through the...
The credits area.
Yeah, as far as
Okay.
I know.
All right, then I'll have to do the end section, the regular end of the game, because the challenge is a separate. It's like
There's
it's
the
basically a
regular
sequence
end.
of puzzles.
There's the regular end, the challenge, and then the credits room.
Okay.
3 different,
Yeah.
like, ways you can end the game, I guess.
Yeah, but this game has just been incredibly satisfying to play. Like it's been incredibly satisfying to learn and to play, and it's odd in that you find voice logs around the island that on little recorders, and a lot of them just seem like pretentious bullshit.
Yes.
And then
Are pretentious bullshit.
Yeah.
They are pretentious bullshit.
I mean, you get what they're going for, but then eventually you unlock some other stuff that amps up the pretension meter times 10
Yes.
by a bunch. But then you get to the
Wait, hold up, slow up. You're selling this game to me too hard right now.
I know.
Man.
Yeah. But the thing is,
you can
like,
ignore all of that shit.
I guess
it makes no
and
difference.
The thing is, so much of it, like that doesn't change the way you play the game, but there is interesting commentary going on there about the learning process, which is what this game feels like. It almost feels like how you're supposed to do an educational game. But the problem is, all it's teaching you is how to do these goofy little puzzles. It's not teaching you a real world skill that's going to do anything. But it becomes very much about how learning is a process that when you make it fun, it's that much more rewarding. Because I think about, like, I went on a cruise with my in-laws, and they had their 2-year-old there, and he plays all these word games on the iPhone, where it's basically, it's spelling a word, but it'll be like words that a 2-year-old should not be learning, like calamity. But he'll sit there and he'll press A, and he'll keep saying A, and he drags the A onto where, the outline that it has. And it's like, this kid's learning, like, this kid's going to know the alphabet and what each letter means and how to pronounce it pretty damn soon. And he's fucking 2, and you think about that, like, without a game, and it also keeps him from, like, losing his shit and just going ballistic because he's 2 as well. It's like, okay, oh wait, he's quiet because he's just sitting here spelling out calamity on this thing and understands what each letter means.
This kid's going to be like the AI system when it gets turned on.
Yeah.
It's like, you are all too fucking stupid. You must die now.
Yeah. But it's also like this game, like The Witness makes a case for games as educational and games as learning, and that not many things can make, like because we've kind of settled into this mode of, well, games are either you're shooting things or you're competing against something or whatever. And through the logs and the other stuff that's in it, they're kind of, I think they hammer that too much, because it's kind of like, okay, we get it. You're giving us the same message. Mm-hmm. But then there are logs later on that totally undercut all that and are like, hey, I almost don't want to give away some of the stuff that they do, but they undercut it in a way that works perfectly, and that adds a lot of depth to kind of the outside the game stuff that you think about with this, and about the process of Jonathan Blow collaborating with these people and making this game and doing this stuff. And it's just going through all this, and we put a video up on the stream of me doing the challenge one time where I get to the last puzzle with plenty of time and still fucking lose. And I don't know if it was that one I put up or the other one, but it never feels unfair. It just feels unlucky. Like, it feels like and I've watched that video again to see that puzzle, and I still can't figure it out. Even watching it, having done it, I still can't figure out that solution in particular. But there's something so rewarding about not cheating in that game. Just straight up, like, figuring out how to do everything that makes everything that much better. That made that game, if it's not on my FODI list, we have a fucking amazing year. Let's just put it that way.
Hell yeah.
Because this game has satisfied me in every way I would hope that it would satisfy me. And also, like, when I unlocked the credits area, I did it by...
You came by it honestly.
I did, but I also... What I did to open the way into it, I wasn't expecting to happen. I thought something different was going to happen, and then I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because I hadn't done the end game or the challenge or any of that stuff yet.
Right.
I had just gotten to this one part. I was like, oh, what? Because I'd done all the lasers and all the stuff in town, and it's just like, it feels like getting stuck in the swamp area was ages ago.
Right.
Now that's not even a consideration anymore. But yeah, just watch that video of me doing the challenge. I mean, it will give away how you solve some of those puzzles. I don't really get into the specifics of it, but I mean, watching them, you can deduce a lot of how that stuff works. And there's some later on in particular that it's like, T-Strel in particular didn't know how to solve a certain type of puzzle, which is how you get into the challenge. And seeing that, you would understand how you solve them. But if you don't, you're just like, I don't get it. I don't get why this isn't working.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun is, okay, these hints have been throughout the island for how this works. And eventually, once it clicks, you're like, oh, son of a bitch. That was the easiest fucking thing. And that's what so much of that game is you looking at what you're doing and going, son of a bitch, why didn't I figure that out earlier? Why didn't I see that? But yeah, I mean, it's just a phenomenal game, and it's going to feel weird when I finally do finish the challenge, and when I do finish the last, 12 puzzles or whatever it is that I have left on the island to do.
Yeah, what are you going to do with yourself?
Play another game, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's probably over 50 hours at this point in that game. Yeah. And I don't regret any of it. And that's the thing, like, that's the best thing about the challenge, I think. What a point I was trying to get to earlier is that even when you fail, you don't, like, you're still enjoying it. Like I still was like, man, that was so close. Damn. And it wasn't, but I wasn't like, son of a fuck. You know, I wasn't angry with myself for losing. I was just like, oh, how did I get that close and not, you know, it's hard to explain, but it's completely satisfying even when you lose, which is a very difficult thing for most games to do.
Mm-hmm. That was actually a thing that I kind of wanted to bring up when you're talking about failing in this game, and I can have a bit of a temper with games sometimes, especially when things seem like incredibly unfair, like Broforce tripped a couple of those things, because there's some points where it's just absolutely punishingly unfair, and it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I have no way of unfucking this. Like I'm just a victim here of some sort of madness, and kind of turns me inside out sometimes. But with the witness, it's never like that. Even as frustrating as puzzles can be, it's fair because there are rules, whether you understand them at the time or not. You know there are rules, and you know that there is a way out of this. There is a way to, there's a way to get past this. I just have to learn it. Mm-hmm. And if I can learn it and map it out, I can get through it.
Yep.
Now, I might not be able to, make it through the challenge. I don't know that I am quick enough at the puzzles to do that, but
practice, man.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back to the witness, but I feel like I may end up being done with it, and it might be something that I'll just pick up maybe in another couple months and play another couple hours and be done with it. But yeah, this game does not trigger that, that rage response in me to want to put my controller through the TV, which is kind of surprising, because it is punishing at some points, and just evilly so, but it's not cruel about it.
And the way the challenge is designed too, because of the music that works as your timer, that music gets so fucking intense by the end of it that you are just even you can just see when I'm drawing the lines, I'm screwing up, I'm okay, I gotta go down here, and then I'll just miss it.
Right.
It's basic stuff you've been doing the entire game, but because this music is just going nuts in your ear the entire time, picking up the intensity, it's tough to even concentrate, even when you know exactly what you need to do.
Even one of those first 3 or 4 puzzles in the challenge, I got to watch you. I was at work when you were doing some of the live streaming, and internet at work really sucks. So, well, there goes my microphone. Didn't need that. So work internet really sucks. It's hard to watch YouTube videos at work. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And but I was able to watch maybe 2 or 3 minutes of you doing that. And even one of the first 3 puzzles, you're going through, and I'm like, oh, he took a wrong turn. He obviously took a wrong turn there, and you're like, oh, how did I miss that? Okay, backwards, back up. All right.
No. It's I will say there's only one place in the game where it gives you unsolvable puzzles, and it's in the challenge. Because there are basically 2 sets of 3, and of those 3, 2 are unsolvable. There's only one solvable equation in each of those sections, as far as from my understanding. I know in the first part there are 2 that are unsolvable, which is the only place in the game where they give you a puzzle that cannot be solved, because there's only one there, and you have to figure out which one that is,
right,
by understanding how those patterns work. But so, as far as unfairness in the game goes, I feel okay telling people that.
Yeah.
Because that it'll just piss you off even more. But there's a way to recognize the pattern that won't work. But last thing I want to say, this is one of the few games that's made me go, man, I wish I could play this in VR. That would be really fucking cool to go through this island in VR. And I just don't think that about any games at all. And maybe it's the pacing of it. Maybe it's just the exploration and looking around and that sort of stuff. And the kind of like lining up things the way they need to line up to solve puzzles and all that, it seems like it would benefit more from VR than most games would.
If I knew it wasn't going to cost an arm and a leg and maybe not even work that great, I would totally buy it for something like Elite Dangerous in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'd buy a VR
Yeah,
rig.
I could see Elite Dangerous being, being
I'm
pretty
just
sweet
that
way.
Star Citizen, whatever materializes, if that ever materializes, I mean.
Yeah.
These kind of things.
Well, we have a price tag on PlayStation VR finally.
Yeah.
Uh,
the cheapest one.
Is 399 of your dollars.
Yeah.
However,
The
you'll still need...
former Project Morpheus.
Yes.
Yeah. However, you'll still need to buy a camera. The PlayStation camera.
Yep.
So it's really
and
not...
move
quite-
controllers, I think?
Yeah.
Do you have to have move
Those
controllers?
are optional, but
Optional.
recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have all of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do.
I still have them too.
But you can. I think you can get. I think you can get the PlayStation Eye and Move controllers for super cheap.
Yeah.
So
But yeah.
because nobody wanted them before
Yeah.
today.
Right.
Well, the biggest thing about VR, and this is like a weird little side thing, is like, I know if and when I were to get one, and I'm not saying I'm even like considering it at this point, if and were I to get one, I would have to calibrate it for me. I'm very farsighted. Mm-hmm. And so, like, this is going to take some, like, I don't wear glasses, but I'm very farsighted. Like,
Do you wear any corrective lenses?
No, I'm just like here and closer, it's blur. That's a fucking blur. But you don't really generally have a reason to see that close, 3 inches
gotcha.
in front of your hand. But I mean, I can't fucking see anything when it's that close. So
Fucking
you
can't.
put you put lenses in front of my eyes. I'm going to have to fuck with the settings a lot to get them to work for me.
I got
and
you.
I know as
Yeah.
soon as you buy one, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, let me try it." So it's like it's gonna be all fucked up. You're like, that's like one of the first things I think of is like, there's got to be some way to.
They should have user profiles.
Yeah, something. Like, I mean, it almost needs to be electronic, so you can just go like, yeah, this is me, and it just puts it back however.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah,
also
that's
said...
I mean, they didn't have a calibration thing. It's almost like an eye chart. Like, what looks good to you? That, what, that.
Yeah.
Well, they might. I mean,
Who knows?
that's a thing where everybody will talk about everything about it the moment that
Sure, absolutely.
that it comes out. So you'll be able to.
Well,
There won't be a scarcity.
early
so.
reports from people that have played the PlayStation VR now have said that if you wear glasses, it's the most comfortable of the three,
Oh.
of the Vive.
What, you put the glasses on and put it on?
Yes.
Oh.
That,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I thought the whole idea, like, I mean, well, the Oculus Rift I messed around with it was all, you took your glasses off and you calibrated it to, like, how you
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Apparently, PlayStation VR works with your glasses. So
That's good.
that
'cause
may make a difference for
If I
some
take
people.
these off, it's just
Yeah.
Well,
a
it's just-
mess.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to sit there and make it so that you see.
That's the problem with my vision, though, is they can't correct for astigmatism.
Okay.
Like, astigmatism has to be carefully corrected, or else everything goes fucky.
All right.
Fucky.
Yes.
Is that the medical term for
Yes. My ophthalmologist told me
it?
this.
Yeah. Don't let it get all fucky. So should we take a fucky break?
We should take a normal break and then
Okay.
get
All right.
back to the fucky podcast.
There you go.
Sounded like you're about to go giggy giggy.
Yeah, I'm just
Get back to the
No.
giggity.
I'm just stuttering for no reason tonight.
Fucky.
I don't know. That never happens to me, so I don't know what you're talking
Stuttering.
Yes.
I
I actually had a stutter when I was a little kid. I kind of like made myself learn not to do it.
That way you
It
didn't
still
watch
just
TV
occasionally
for a year.
happens.
That way you didn't watch TV for a year.
Yes.
Stop stuttering.
No, I spent about a year. I went to a monastery and learned how not to.
So which year was
Also
that?
Kung Fu.
Yeah, what did you
1980.
What,
89?
which you missed 89?
Well, it would have been. I finished in 1989, so it would have been probably mostly 88 actually.
Hmm.
Because I mean, like the Christmas where I was given the reprieve would have been 88.
So you didn't watch any TV. Did you go to the movie theater?
Fuck yeah, you did. You watched
See
TV.
Die Hard?
Yes, when I was I saw Die Hard when I was what 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I'm gonna guess
I
then.
think I went to the theater like a couple times. but
Yeah.
Not really.
Saw American Tail. Fievel Goes West.
I remember seeing that in the theater.
I know I saw something somewhere along there because like I have my movie ticket collection, which is sitting over
Oh
there,
yeah.
and I know one of them is the 1988 Lord of the Flies. I think it's the very first one I ever collected.
Really?
I don't know why I decided to start there.
scrapbook.
I didn't even know there was a 1988 Lord of the Flies.
Alphonse Arquette.
Yeah.
No kidding. I had no idea that existed.
So I want to say that's 1990. I want to say that's 1990.
Is it?
I believe so.
You got
IMDb
We did a bit
will
of
tell you.
research about 1990 recently. No, I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I'm just saying.
I thought it was 88.
Nope, it's 1990. Sorry, bro.
Jeez, why'd you do that to him, Chuck?
I just like fucking.
So, were there any states Trump didn't win today?
Ohio.
Oh, he did not win Ohio.
No, he did not.
Kasich? Man, that's going to be weird then.
Doesn't mean
And so Rubio, like, tearfully quit.
he just fucking quit. Like 3 hours ago, he was like, "Even if I lose Florida, I'm not quitting." And then like they hadn't even called Florida yet, and he was like, "I'm out."
It's time, man.
Fuck, man, how do you elect someone to your state, and then when they're like, "Hey, I'd like to be president," the state's like, "Nah, fuck you." Like, yeah, we voted for you a couple years ago, but fuck off.
Yeah, man. Well, I think more people are like, man, if Trump wins, we get rid of our governor.
Yeah, because he's gonna be vice president.
Yep.
Penis head,
Fucking Voldemort.
and then we all die. Trump has not won North Carolina yet. Haven't called it, but he will. We're all fucked.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be all right. I'm not sweating it. What are you laughing at?
We'll be alright.
Hey, Chuck, did you know that the Cranberries are in Rock Band now?
Saw that.
Dreams, Ode to My Family, and Zombie.
I know two of those.
Yeah. Never heard of Ode to My Family.
Yeah. Is Linger already in the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, chat. Is there anybody still in chat? Let's rap at each other here. Or not. But seriously, watch that Witness video. It's pretty fun. Hey, Harlow's back. So what'd you do instead of, like, watching TV in 1988?
Read a lot.
Yeah?
Learned
Did you
basic computer shit?
did you feel smarter?
I don't know.
No?
No, I just got tired of telling people I can't watch TV when I go to their house. I mean,
Oh. So that was part of it, too. It was straight up.
yeah, don't watch TV. I'm honest. Like, I'm an honest person, mostly.
All right. That's good.
Everything I say is a lie.
Oh, no, you just broke my AI.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mostly read and I taught myself like basic programming on the
Mm-hmm.
286 essentially.
Nice. So you're doing some
Actually,
Q,
no,
some
the
Q
88
basic back then? Basic A?
I may still have my Trash 80 in 1988. I don't know if I had a 286.
So you were allowed to look at a computer monitor, just not a TV.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, because most games were not very graphically intensive back then. So it was mostly like, yeah, I didn't, and that's the great thing. I don't think I even played that many games, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when it's all CGA, you don't want to watch 4-color games. All cyan and pink and blue.
I've made up
Or
for
red,
it. I've made
yellow,
up for
and
it in
brown.
the meantime. I've watched a lot of TV.
Yeah. Me too.
Like all my 10 season shows that I've watched.
I was gonna say you just watched like 1,100 seasons.
Well,
of Friends.
I'm realizing
You're just making up for it now.
I've watched Smallville, How I Met Your Mother, and Friends are all 10 season shows. Now I think I need to move up to I need to watch Supernatural.
Yeah, Supernatural is your show.
Yeah, or Stargate season 17.
All the Stargates, Atlantis.
No, Supernatural.
You want to
might
see all the
interest me
wiring in
slightly
this
more.
sucker?
They just got renewed for season
Look at this.
12.
There you go. It's the only way we could beat a 10 season or
This is
show
everything
is
it comes
doing
with.
something higher. Or I'll
'Cause
just
apparently these plug into the front of the unit and then run
Go
out
watch
to
all
the
The Simpsons.
headset. Which crap headphones.
You can stop after season 10.
There's
Which is
a-
where everyone stopped.
It's a separate unit.
Yes, I'll show you.
It's the processor.
Yeah, it's a small unit.
It's
This
a
is the
computer.
back of it. So it's got an HDMI in and an HDMI to the PS4.
oh,
It's also got a USB
Morpheus.
in,
Hot Morpheus.
and that's the plug, like
Take
the
the red
unit
pill.
that you plug in for the front of it. For the headset, goes in there. So yeah, so you got
I would like to register my displeasure that it is not completely wireless.
Good luck with the battery life, man.
Yeah.
That'd be a problem.
I could strap it. I got battery.
I hope the
battery
cord
power.
is like freaking 15 feet long. You know, it's got to be long. But it looks like...
Well, it goes right off the page there, so it must be pretty long.
Yeah, so wait. So that looks like it goes on the front. I'm wondering what that box is. Or if
Crap
maybe
box.
that's just an extension cord. Honestly, it's probably an extension cord for that. And then that's your USB that's probably going straight into the PS4. That's the video, the HDMI that's going to go PS4. And yeah,
That's USB to micro,
yeah.
but there's not a micro that attaches to the back. There's not a micro jack on the back.
Of this one, there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, the VR unit there is. So yeah, it's a lot of cords. Of course, the Oculus Rift.
Send me that link.
Isn't it the Oculus Rift needs like I'll just put it in the notes. Needs 3 USB 3 ports and
Jesus.
1 USB 2.
Hmm.
It's down at the bottom there.
USB crazy.
Why?
That's what nobody knows.
Oh yeah, tater tots.
What?
Tater tots, son.
What?
Actual
It's
tots.
things happening
Whoa.
in the chat.
Man,
About
I look
tots?
away from the chat to look at PlayStation VR details.
Shit, guys.
Share the tots.
I'll have some pizza.
What? You don't want tots?
No.
Why not?
Why don't you want tots?
We're having tots tomorrow.
The fried goodness.
Are we?
We are?
We should. It's dollar hot dog day at Sonic.
Again?
Yeah.
No, I thought that was... Is it tomorrow?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought March 17th was that, and that's Thursday.
You mean St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
Is it?
Why would they do St. Patrick's Day free dogs?
I don't know. We're having tacos at work.
For St.
Oh.
Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
Are you going to have corned beef and cabbage tacos?
I don't know. I just know there better be alcohol because that's how I celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
I celebrate it now by-
Irish heritage by getting drunk.
I celebrate it by staying home and not going out during amateur hour.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It is entirely possible that I will go out for St. Patrick's Day, but
All day March 16th.
all right.
Yeah.
Man.
Sanic.
All the planets are aligning.
Yeah, Sanic.
Just don't get this one with
No.
pickle shit on it.
Fuck the American.
Pickle shit.
I mean,
Yeah, fuck the American.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Listen to Iron Sheik over there.
it is #1 jabroni hot dog.
Jabroni hot dog.
Cheap heat is the heat you get easy way.
You get your hot dog cold because you have no heat,
No.
jabroni.
No cheap heat. Cheap hot dog.
I just didn't want chili that day, and I thought American meant give me a plain ass hot dog.
Nope.
Apparently
it meant
not.
pickle shit all over your
Yeah,
hot dog.
we're like-
that relish was nasty.
It was gross.
It was like minty.
it was like green
It was-
lifesavers.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty much
bad.
all the worst things in one for me.
All right. So you guys ready to do a second half?
Sure.
Talk some more video games.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
talk
it.
about video games.
All right, welcome back. Second half.
Hey, still a motherfucking video game podcast.
Still is.
Apparently.
Still talking video games.
Oh, okay. We're going to do that this
Yeah.
half.
You know what? We're going to talk about video games that aren't even done.
That's
how
Galaxy.
That's how much video games. Oh shit!
All right.
Oh,
Call
sick,
back.
Sick hot take burn on Galaxy right there.
yeah. That was for Chuck.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Keeping the
But
weird beef weird.
Harlow, you've been playing an early access game called Kona.
Yeah, it's super early access. You know how long it's been out? Like 3 days. I mean, even in early access.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Kona. I saw a thing about it on a gaming website, and I was like, that seems like a thing I might enjoy. Let me give that a try for 9 of the American dollars versus whatever it will be when it's fully released. I think it's going to be an episodic game, or maybe not episodic. Maybe that's not the right word. I think it's going to be like bite-sized games, less than full retail price games. It's going to be like Kona is going to lead into this. It's going to lead into this. I think they're trying to make a series of games.
Okay.
It's made in Canada, in the French part of Canada,
Oh.
so Ontario, perhaps.
Quebec?
Huh?
Quebec?
I thought Ontario was the province.
Who
Quebec's
cares?
the city.
Yeah.
Quebec is where they are pretty French.
Right, but I mean, it's a city, though. Right.
Are you sure?
I'm just I'm just laying my zero Canadian knowledge on you.
All right. Well, I just laid all of mine, so all of those Canucks are on the table now.
We need to get our Canucks in a row.
Yes. So essentially, what the game is or is going to be is it's kind of like a adventure detective style game set in the far north. So weather is a factor.
Yeah, it gets cold.
I believe you're eventually you're initially just kind of investigating something normal, and then it becomes kind of paranormal.
Oh, so you're Zach Baggins in it.
Yeah. But like it's pretty obvious in the early version of the game so far that snow and weather was probably their primary concern to this point, because they definitely nailed that. Snow sounds like snow when you're tromping through it, and you know the ever increasing blizzard that's happening around you is pretty impressive on the graphics side. I don't really want to get too much more into it now because it is so very early access right now. It's the controls and everything so far feel kind of like the Amnesia games. I mean, they like the icons even almost look the same, but so far there's no kind of like, it's not that constant state of, oh my god, what's around the next corner feeling that you get from Amnesia. It's not that at all right now. In fact, the only paranormal thing I've actually come in direct contact to was very benevolent. So it was just kind of like, you know, you need to figure out how to communicate with it more than anything else. So I'm interested to see where it goes, but you know, it's hard to say anything more than that right now.
Yeah, there's just the feeling that I got in watching you and BJ wander around in it was just kind of like everywhere you went, there was a feeling like you probably shouldn't be there. It almost felt
a little bit, yeah.
And it's kind of that unease was more what the vibe was throughout.
There's one thing, and it's strange because like right in the I can't remember if it's in the startup notes on the game or like in the notes on the page, but one of the things they plan to revamp is the journal system, which I think is weird because I like what it's doing right now. Like you have this journal and there are sections of it that are like have a question mark or like a magnifying glass on them. That means you haven't done that part, and so eventually it's like filling in the story as you do things. It's like a new section of the page will pop up like, oh, that's when I found the generator and turned it on to get power back in the general store, you know, and it's like that appears in the journal after you've completed that section.
I did notice a pop-up on the journal that said, you know, currently only the general store section of the journal is working.
Yeah, well, they specifically use the words like revamp, so it sounds like they're going to change it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of strange because I actually really kind of like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't played enough to like really know where the story is going or anything like that. It's got the Far Cry 2 style, just figure out where the fuck you are kind of map. Like it.
Oh, that map is so good.
It's a real like, you know, paper ass feeling map, but like the only thing that's, you know, augmented to it is like your position on it.
It did show you where you were.
Yeah.
It does another cool thing where when you're looking at the map, it's got a dotted line coming out from the point of your player indicator, so whichever way you're facing, it kind of draws a line across the map.
Yeah.
But also it does the Far Cry 2 when you're driving, you just pull up a big fucking paper map and you have to look at it. Like you have to press right on the right stick to look at it, and that's awesome. I drove off the road a couple times while I was driving through the snow and looking through the map.
Sure.
Yeah. It looked like it was set in like the 70s.
Yeah, it's strange, the setting. I didn't actually see or remember a specific year, but like everything that's going on, you have what looks like probably a 60s or so, maybe 70s pickup truck. You're also finding, you know, records, albums on the... It's strange because like all of the products like Coke and Kraft and things like that are changed ever so slightly.
Yeah,
but
like the truck was a Chevrolet.
Yes.
Yes.
Or like it's obviously a Coke bottle, but it's like they scratched off the Coke part, so it just says, or the Coca part, so it just says cola.
It says cola.
But like, you know, it's obviously a Heinz bottle, but it just says like, you know, fancy ketchup or something like that, you know. But the weird thing is, like, you will find albums out in the... Because, like, you're essentially wandering through these people's houses that aren't there. It's Canada. Their doors are unlocked. So,
like, there should be people there.
There should be people
They
there.
look recently lived in.
Yeah, there's... Like, the very first house I came to, like, still had, you know, ashes or, you know, embers in the fire. I mean, it was, like, very recently left.
Yeah, and the narrator guy did say, like, it looks like they left in a hurry.
Right.
When you
examine
examine something.
There's obviously strange things going on. But what I was getting at is there's these albums. You'll find actual albums out in the world, and they are real albums. Like, there was very clearly zoomed in. It's Rolling Stone's Let It Bleed album, very iconic cover. And sitting right next to it was Meet the Beatles in stereo. So that's how you know these people are monsters. Also, they didn't exist probably at that time in the stereo mix, because that was like, I think, the mid 80s where they were trying to get people reinterested in Beatles. But whatever.
Yeah.
No, the stereo mixes came.
Did they right
early.
away?
Oh yeah, because they were not happy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I looked, I zoomed in, and I was like, in stereo, you monsters. I'm going to ransack the fuck out of your house. But anyway.
So you did.
Oh, I did, but I was going to do that anyway. I had to justify it.
Well, that's Canada for you.
Yeah. But it looked really cool. Like I
For an alpha game,
I would be interested in playing more of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was running pretty damn well
Yeah.
for being.
I'm sure maybe it's not their first alpha, but
Yeah.
it's, you know.
Yeah, the narrator needed some work.
Yeah, the narrator guy is not a great actor. I hope he's
Yeah.
not the final guy.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It's like some guy they actually found up there in Canada and like, hey,
Yeah.
can you read? Okay, read these things
you have,
into
you
a
have
microphone.
kind of like an important sounding voice, sort of, you know. No
Kinda.
emotion
And then
behind it, but
we all went down to the Kroger and got another sandwich.
I mean, it's not.
we went to the Sam Goody and bought the stereo mix of Meet the Beatles. Or,
Yeah, he's not Ted from accounting level bad, but you know, he's.
oh, it's with the Beatles, not Meet the Beatles.
Oh no, but he needs some work. But so
I mean, it's an alpha.
So having bought the early access, does that mean you'll get it when
Mhm.
there's a final version?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's why I tend to do this. It tends to be cheaper, and if it's remotely interesting, it's interesting sometimes just to check in along the way and see like where they've gone. Like when I first bought the Long Dark, which is now even on the Xbox early access thing, like that game's come a very, very long ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cool game when I found it, and that's actually why I was kind of interested in this one. Is it seemed like it might be very similar Canadian surviving the elements kind of thing, because that's the thing that fascinated me the most about Long Dark is I want one of these survival games, but I don't want this outside zombie or cannibal or dinosaur or whatever element in it. You know, I just want to survive.
You just want to fight nature.
I want to fight nature. I mean, wolves. Okay,
Yeah.
wolves are real. You know, if I was out in the,
Are they? Oh my God!
if I was out in nature
made a huge mistake.
You know, in the Yukon, then there would probably be wolves. But but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, that
In
makes
short,
sense.
I like these snow games.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah,
Cool.
There's snow games like good games.
Haha, that's a joke.
Yeah. On that
That's
note,
not.
I picked up Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, which if you already owned Ori and the Blind Forest, at least on Xbox One, I don't know if it's been published anywhere else. I don't think so because it's Microsoft Studios. But yeah, if you already owned the original one, you get this for $5, which it has an easy mode.
Yay!
Yeah. It has extra areas and some other powers. However, it is a completely separate app. As in, if you have a save partway through the original game, you're starting over when you start Ori and the Blind
It
Forest.
doesn't even have an import or anything like that.
Not that I saw.
Awesome.
Yeah. It
I'd be all right with that. I don't.
Yeah,
remember
it was
where
like new game, and it's just like, all right, pick your save slot, and they're all empty. And I was like, oh, all right then. And yeah, it runs as two separate apps. So I didn't play that. I went back to the original where I had a save at about, I think, 30% of the game and played a considerable amount more. And again, that game, man, certain sections of that game can fuck off. Like, it's just brutally hard. Like, brutally hard.
So you didn't put it on easy mode?
Not yet. I went back to the old one.
Oh,
I wasn't playing the new one because I was like, I'm not starting over. Like, I'm far enough in that I remember where I was, and it hasn't been that long since I played. But there's a section that I had to play over and over and over and over and over again because I would get it because it was water rises beneath you, and you have to get up through a section very quickly. And if you waste any time at all or miss a specific jump, or you get a certain power where you can grab projectiles and use them to boost yourself up further. And if you miss any of those, then you fall into the water, and it does the very annoying thing of you hit the water and you don't just die. It's bing, 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 hitting your health, even though you can't do anything about it.
So it's just ticking off your health.
So it's just wasting my time.
Right.
It's like if I hit the water, just insta-kill me. Just take all my health. Take it because I can't escape it anyway, so just don't do it. So I sat there banging my head against this one level for probably about 45 minutes before finally getting out of that section. But I was just like, I'm playing it. I'm like, I beat Super Meat Boy, and I never got stuck on a section like I did on this. Because it's such a long section, and when you fail it, it brings you right back to the start. And it's like, go do it again. Good luck. And there's so much I love about that game, and I love exploring that world and finding things in it, and getting new powers that allow me to, okay, now I can traverse it because of this. And that's, this suddenly unlocked all these things. That's why people keep going back to that Metroid formula of, well, you couldn't do this before, but now you can. And it's like, okay, cool. Now suddenly I go back here and this feels like a new spot. And that stuff I love, but then you get stuck in a section that's just like, we are just gonna beat the shit out of you and hope you can figure it out. And I don't understand what they were doing with this game, because that certainly doesn't match the aesthetic that they present in it. Like I couldn't see giving this, letting a kid play this game unless this kid was pretty good at games already. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't get it. And I want to beat this game. I want to play this game, but there's so many sections I'm just like, fuck everything about this. Like, this is just bad. Like, it's so difficult that it's bad, and that's just not good. So at least there's a definitive edition which has an easy mode, which I would assume, at least in that section that pissed me off so bad, has to allow the timer to be way less stringent.
Right.
It has to. And you probably have more health. You probably don't get hurt as much on health. It's that game's just weird. I think it's weird because it doesn't feel consistent in how things work. Like like the range where you can actually hit something with your little shot that kind of swirls around. And also because that shot obscures your vision so much around you that it's easy to get hit by things that you didn't even realize you got hit by.
Yep.
And then when you're doing the slingshot move, the radius where you have to be able to hit the Y button to catch the thing that you need to propel you somewhere else is so fiddly. Like, a lot of times I'll hit it and it's just like, no, you didn't. It's like, it was right next to me. Why did that? And that's a game I want to love so much, but it fights me every step of the way. And it should not have been like that. And I hope that Definitive Edition is better in that regard, where it's like, people can just play it and get through it and be like, all right, that was really cool and I like that story. But as it is with the original version, nope. But hey, if you still care about achievements, and yeah, I know, achievements don't matter, who cares, but double achievements.
I like achievements.
Because the original version and the definitive one will give you a completely separate set of achievements that are basically the same thing.
It's 2,000 points.
Except there's a few extra ones in, it's actually 2,250 because there's extra ones for definitive. But yeah.
So many
And
points.
I'm not even sure if they sell the old version anymore. They might only sell definitive edition now.
They probably delisted it.
Rare.
Yeah. Ooh. Lucky me.
Trade my digital copy.
Yeah. But yeah, so definitive edition's out there. If you got the old one, maybe pay the $5 to upgrade.
I might try an easy mode. I'd like to see more of that game without having to play it.
Yeah, but just be prepared. Be prepared to start over. That's the only part that really
It's fine
sucked.
by me.
That was really disappointing.
I don't want to see the tragic opening again because that was hella sad, but
Well, guess what, buddy?
I know.
Now to be definitively more sad.
Yeah. I didn't get very far in that game. Once I realized it was just going to, fuck me at every opportunity, I was just like, no.
Ooh, what game is this?
It's not what you want.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Hey, I don't even remotely have a segue out of this, but hey, speaking of other games.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of games,
Ooh,
Yeah.
video games, really?
So I did
don't say.
I did a little deep dive into my Steam library into basically I started with like things I still had installed. That was where I started.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, let's see what this was. And I came across Deadpool. That little game from a few years ago that they decided to re-release on the latest gen consoles in a weird cash grab related to the movie.
Yeah, it's a hot new property.
Yeah. That was a weird one. Of all the remastered whatever editions, that's probably the strangest one. That was just straight up cash grab.
I don't know. Prototype is still dumber, I think.
Prototype was
Yeah, oh, yeah.
up-resed?
Yeah.
They
One and
released
two.
What?
Yes. That's the
Okay.
weirdest fucking thing
All
right
right,
there.
all right, fine.
Deadpool at least made sense because
Sure.
there was a hot movie coming out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, so I had tried to play this at some point in time in the past, and I just stopped. And it wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it; I just stopped. It was one of those something came out, and I forgot about it, and it got shelved.
Yep.
So I was at the point where I was like, my save's probably there, but I think I'm just going to start over because I don't remember that I was that far along that I kind of want to see what I might have missed. So I just started fresh, and so the game itself is not great. It might be chuck fine. It's probably chuck fine. It's mostly functional. But
I'd agree with that.
It's a little clunky at times. The Wolverine game it is not.
No.
That Wolverine game is slick.
God, that game's great.
That game is great. This game is not that.
No.
So know that going in. I'm trying to think of a game I would put it on par with. I'd say it's as janky as a Saints Row game. I think that's fair. And there's a Nolan North connection, so it popped in my head.
Yep.
There you go.
Because Deadpool in this is Nolan North. I didn't look it up, but I assume it's 3 different versions of Nolan North because he has 2 different voices in his head. That I'm pretty sure it's Nolan North doing other voices, styles of voices, I should say. So it's all the crazy Deadpool jokey fourth wall breaking craziness that you can possibly imagine, including your intro part of the game. You're hanging out in his apartment, and you can walk around and inspect his stuff. You can pick up the phone and you can call High Moon Studios, the people that made the game, and talk about making the game, and then you start making the game. As you're playing and talking about making it. You call up Nolan North at one point, asking him if he'd like to be in the game, and you basically hang up the phone by going "fuck you, Nolan." And then I think you have a machine message on your answering machine from Ryan. That he's just like, man, you need to stop calling. So they pretty much hit all the fourth wall breaking stuff they need to do. But this game gets by on its stupid humor and stuff that its charm wins out over any kind of shoddy gameplay that you might possibly have, because I just found myself constantly just laughing and just being amused by the situation that I was in, and just
it has jokes that work.
Yeah, the jokes that work, and just the sheer audacity of setups for things it's just funny. It just really is just jokes that call back to 20-30 minutes before in gameplay. It's just oh yeah, I remember you did that and we didn't really understand why. Now we understand why. And it's so it's a very, very short game. I mean, I think I had a couple of hours from having played it before, and I played through the whole thing, and I think my whole total time on Steam is 10, maybe 11 hours or something like that. And what's funny is I didn't think I was going to be done with it before we casted tonight, and I was last night I was I'm trying to play catch up on game. I'm let's see how much more Deadpool I have, and it's funny that I did because I had an hour left. I was almost done with it, so it's just funny that I went back to it and ended up actually finishing it. So, other X-Men make cameos. Obviously, Cable makes it shows up because of course he does. Yeah. But every time another X-Men related thing shows up, there's this. If I could say anything about the game, there's a prompt that will come up very briefly when someone or something gets introduced to the game at first. And who is this person? Press A. Always press A. The little intro videos for everyone are just awesome. Really awesome. And they're not the same style either. So it's always fun and exciting every time they come up. So, like I said, I'm sure it's super cheap on the next gen systems or whatever system of choice. So it's a good cheap game. You should pick it up. You won't hate it. It's I would say it's a value pick.
It sounds like that B tier game that we kind of miss.
It kind of is.
It totally is.
I'd say that's actually, if we're talking straight up comic book, I'd say it's pretty much as good as that Captain America game, which I thought was all right. It's pretty fun, a little clunky at times, but that first initial Captain America game they came out with, it's as good as that. Well, obviously a lot more R rated, but yeah.
Of course. Yeah. It's Deadpool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real quick about Ori.
Yeah.
They don't sell the old one anymore.
Okay.
But you get it with the definitive edition.
Okay.
So you just get it.
Oh, so if you buy just the definitive edition, you get 2 copies of the game.
You get 2 copies of the game.
And you could have 2250 achievements.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sweet.
So value pick again.
Wow. So much value.
It's achievement value.
Yes.
For 20 bucks.
Remember value picks?
That's less than a penny a pick.
Yeah,
point.
penny a point. Not even. Yeah. I played Amplitude on PS4. It went on sale.
That's a game you can buy.
Yeah, went on sale. I bought it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't back the Kickstarter because I was like, it's going to make it, and it's probably going to be the same price or cheaper.
Right.
Which is exactly what happened. And that's a PS2 ass feeling game, and it's straight out of everything that the PS2 that type of game was back then.
What did Amplitude originally come out on?
PS2.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
They've properly captured its acidness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the shiny neonness, like the way the lighting works, just all of it just feels straight out of some kind of time machine. And the soundtrack, there are a few good songs on that soundtrack. There's some I really liked, but it very much feels like music made for a video game.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like music that could exist outside of that game. It feels like we had to make this for the game, which the majority of it is.
Mm-hmm.
Though some of those songs are actually, I was like, okay, this song's good. I would listen to this song outside of this.
Did they bring back the same soundtrack from original Amplitude? Or?
No.
No, the
Okay.
original one was licensed tracks that were like remixed in weird ways.
Right. I don't remember which one it was, but which one had Weezer on it? It was Frequency or Amplitude.
I don't remember anymore.
Wasn't it
It's
like
been
Dope?
so
Was it
long.
Dope Nose? I don't remember what song it was either. It's like a kind of weird version of one of them.
Yeah.
One of their songs.
Well, that's not on here.
All right.
Yeah.
These are all harmonics bands.
Yeah, the most
Okay.
recognizable thing you're going to see is Freeze Pop.
Freeze Pop.
Because of course. But
Sure.
yeah, I paid, I think it was either 13 or 14 bucks, which isn't a bad deal for that, but it very much, it's one of those games that really could have used the licensed soundtrack, but the state of harmonics now, that was never, ever, 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 ever happening.
Yeah.
And DLC or any of that, like, there isn't even any flag for that or anything. I think they knew, like, this is all we're getting.
We just
So
want
they
to
have
make
like
this thing.
Yeah, the career mode is like 15 song concept album as they call it, and then there's, I want to say, like another 15 songs outside of that are quick play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I played it on day one and have not gone back to it. Just like out of mind. Just like, yeah, that was a thing.
yeah,
Eh.
I mean it's
I think I enjoyed like the hour that I played of it, but it was just like I feel no urge to play more of it.
and the way the controls are set up is a bit like I had to kind of find a setup that worked for me because
Is it
I think like the
L1,
default
R1, R2.
yes, L1 is the left side, R1 is the middle, and R2 is the right.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing L1 Y, or not Y, triangle, and R2. And that seemed to work for me
Makes sense.
to be able to jump between the lanes and do all that. But yeah, and then I found the power-ups just screwed me up. Like the power-ups made things harder for me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because they don't really explain what they do.
Nope.
Like they basically are like, you played Amplitude, so go. And I'm like, it's been years.
Yeah.
I don't remember
That
this
was two
shit.
generations ago.
Yeah. So they're not very good about telling you what to do. But at least the shoot button works. So. In fact, there are 3 shoot buttons. One for left,
Ooh.
one for center, one for right.
Yeah.
And they all work when you press them. So
Crazy.
It is a
Amplitude's
functional
got
video
that
game.
up over a certain other game on the PS4.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But if you want to play that style of game, you can't really do worse because there's nothing else. But it's its own little thing, and I had fun with it for a while, at least.
It's
And
one of
there's
those
a few catchy songs.
It's one of those PS4 games where it's like, oh, this, and you play it for an hour or two, and then you never go back to it again.
yeah.
Many of those are like the free games, but there's just a fucking metric ton of
if
those
that
games
doesn't
on
end
PS4.
up on PS Plus at some point, I'll
Yeah.
be shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Because I played like 2 straight hours of Broforce, and then really haven't been like, I should play more Broforce. It was just like, I enjoyed that time playing Broforce.
Yeah. I got enough out of this.
Yeah, it's like tennis to the face. It's like, yeah, that was
come
fun
on
for about
now.
45 minutes.
No, that's shit compared to Broforce.
I'm just saying.
That's not even Chuck Fine.
I'm just saying it's one of those things that you play it for about 45 minutes. Go, yeah, that's a video game.
Well, I'm just looking at the track list from the original Amplitude to the new one, and like they didn't use like the same what's her faces God damn it, just said Freeze Pop. They didn't even use the same Freeze Pop song. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like that's just strange. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe it costs too much to license that one now.
Yeah, Freeze Pop is all high.
Famous
Well, I mean,
Freeze Pop.
it was Super Sprode, which has been in like in every other Guitar
Oh,
Hero
yeah.
thing. So they're just like, all right, another song.
Sprode.
I would have recognized Super Sprode if it
Yeah,
came up.
and it was Dope Nose by Weezer.
Is there any Honest Bob and the Factory to Dealer incentives?
Not the original one.
Oh.
But man, there's
Oh.
some good tracks on the original one.
Mm.
Kind of makes me want to go back and play it someday.
Well, you could
I could
on a
PS3.
yeah.
My original PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig that sucker out. Pull it back from the sun.
Come back,
Yeah.
lasso it in.
Anyway.
And it really, and I have an old PS2 if you really need to,
Yeah, I'm good.
if you really need your fix.
I have a PS3 actually hooked up. I could play Amplitude.
Oh,
I
good.
think I even have Amplitude in a box somewhere.
Well, we should have an amplitude party.
Yeah. Amp it up. Or
Okay.
not.
Get amped.
Platoon.
Platooted.
Get amped and change your tude. Man, I just turned that into a PS2 ass era commercial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, you'll know what I mean. Like if you watch video of it or whatever, you'll know exactly.
Oh,
what
I
I'm talking
know.
about.
I know exactly what you mean
Yeah.
without even looking at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Oh, please tell us about your sickness.
moving right
we
along.
would like to know about your sickness.
I have a platinum trophy in Mad Max now. I did everything you can do in that game.
That's a lot of bullshit.
It kind of is. Yeah.
The Mackie story.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bullshit.
It's a lot of minutia. It's just a
It
lot of
kinda is.
fiddly little bullshit.
But I enjoyed being in that world, so it didn't bother me that much. Like, I know most people are just like, oh, nope. Okay, I beat the game. I'm good. And me, I just kind of wanted to hang around in that world longer. So I didn't mind doing that stuff. There was only a couple things that were really like, God damn, this is a pain in the ass, which is, killing 8 guys during one Fury session, but I found the right spot, got about 15 guys in one spot, and then just proceeded to murder all of them as soon as I got into rage mode. So that was the one where that unlocked, and I was like, thank you, God. And I think I actually posted that one to Twitter just because I was like, I need to share this with somebody who will understand.
Look upon my majesty.
Yeah.
I'm not like jumping up on the, master race thing, but I'm so glad I had this game on Steam because
Yeah, Steam achievement.
Like,
I
exactly.
don't even know how you find.
well, that's what I mean.
Someone
It's just
else's
like,
Steam
that's
achievements.
why that's
I have
that's
no
kind
idea.
of another reason I'm like happy to have these games on Steam
Yeah.
because it's like, yeah, I'm done. Fuck it. Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't even matter. Not even
Well,
in
that
the
was the thing.
slightest.
Is like I was so close. It was kind of like, well, I'm just going to do this shit, And I had, and so many of them that were like you can kind of lock yourself out of. I had already gotten, so I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to keep going with these challenges. But yeah, that game ends weird. Like that game ends, and then they're just like, all right, well, yeah, you kind of did that, but here's Mad Max's jacket and his car back, and oh yeah, just everything that happened there, just forget about that.
well, they basically just Gallic Control Z at the end of the game.
Yeah, they kind of do.
No, the shoot button still works.
Oh, okay.
Still shoot. Yeah.
But yeah, they totally just hit the undo, and they're like, all right, go back out there. But luckily for me, I had already done everything else, so I was like, all right, I'm good.
So that was literally the last thing you did in the
It was
game.
the very end of the game
Nice.
was the last thing I did.
It's kind of like the latter Saints Row games where it's just like there's cataclysmic world events happening when you finish those games, but then it's like, just go clean up. Pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Just go back in the world and do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, at least they didn't make me Mad Max's douchebag son to run around after the game ends. So,
up, you filthy nag.
yeah. Work your dang nag.
Angry Maximilian.
Yeah, but it was
Juniorus
interesting
Maximus.
though. I don't know if because I'd overamped myself so much by doing everything else in the game, but I got to the last couple acts, and they took me half an hour.
Yeah,
you guys were like set aside a couple hours to do the whole ending, and I was like, oh shit, it's done.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I guess I'm done.
Well, when you get really proficient at ass beatery in that game,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
that bad. Like there is a point at which you get good enough at that game to where no enemies really matter, and it's like, okay, fine, drive 100 cars at me while I'm on the ground. I'll just roll to the side and shoot your tire out, and then throw a thunderpoon at your face.
I was about to say, let's dwell on that for a moment.
The word thunderpoon?
That we live in a world where there is a game that has a thing called a thunderpoon.
Thunderpoon.
And it's not a Leisure Suit Larry game.
Hooray!
Yeah, it's not a female wrestler in a Leisure Suit Larry game.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was I ended up platinuming that the same day that I did Far Cry 4's platinum because I had not completed 3 multiplayer matches or whatever in the 3 modes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just joined a couple games and I happened to catch one in like the last 45 seconds. So that was even better, and it just ended and then plunked the trophy and I'm like, all right, cool. So my first 2 platinum trophies I got in the same day.
Man, king of gaming.
Yeah, that was me.
Good job that day.
Yeah, that was a great day. But let's talk about another game where I did everything. Wait.
Oh, I was going to say, can we could wrap the last item on the second half list. We could wrap that in here real quick.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's not talk about what I was about to talk about and talk about
I discovered
BJs.
I discovered a segue.
Oh.
Seg.
Yeah. So
So Mackey's king of gaming.
What are you king of?
well, he might be king of the terra firma, but I am now the king of space.
Oh.
Spice.
Space.
In the continuing saga of me playing the ever-loving bejesus out of Battlefront, I have finally achieved level of the 50 in Star Wars Battlefront. I am the king of space. All
is
shall
no
be crushed
higher.
beneath my boot.
So what do you get for that?
You get access to some sweet armor that you can purchase for in-game credits.
Oh.
So I have the Shadow Trooper armor, and you have access to a Twi'lek head for your rebel person.
Wow.
So I can be a Twi'lek lady now.
Yeah.
She's blue. It's pretty
Does
cool.
she sparkle in the sun?
Does she have any special bonus powers?
Oh, fuck no.
Oh.
Of course not. That game is still good.
Can you be a Twi'lek dude? They do exist, right?
Probably, but the character model there's only one character model and it's female. So. But hey, Shadow Trooper, it's better than that, garbage ass other Scout Trooper I was before.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep playing?
I think I finally been talked into the season pass by Tobias.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I need somebody to play. I already bought the season pass, and I need somebody to play it with me. So please get the season pass. And I'm really enjoying it. And might as well. I mean, it's kind of like the Battlefield thing was for a while, where I just pick up and play a little bit of it here and there. And it's still really satisfying to play that game. There's a few things that I absolutely positively hate that I think need fixing, but so far they have been marching forward and making progress in their monthly updates. So every month you get kind of a big patch, and it rebalances some things and fixes some things, and like getting into matches is super easy, works really well now. They fixed a lot of the out of balance horse shit, but it's I'm really enjoying it. Still amazingly, even though I've played it ad nauseum almost. But yeah, I hit level 50. That took a lot of time, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to praise myself a little bit because I haven't done that enough in the last couple podcasts.
We got 2 kings over here.
Yeah.
This side of the table, all kings. Hail to the kings.
Yeah, and keep it up by you guys talking about a game that I got all the achievements in long ago.
Well,
I only have like 3 left.
A little awesome, amazing game that may have been in our Best of the Generation episode a couple years ago, and that's Burnout Paradise.
woo! Burnout Paradise is a good game.
Yeah, Errant Signal.
That's on the current generation,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
It was last
What?
gen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing on the
What?
computer. I'm being a dick.
Yes, Mr. PC Dick. That's you.
That's right. My dick is very
yeah.
politically correct.
But it's just funny, like Errant Signal, who's a guy
Damn.
who does game analysis on YouTube, and he kind of does deep dives of why games work for him and why systems work and that sort of thing. And he had a really, really good video that you should watch about Burnout Paradise, which basically said it's like kind of like the world's best Hot Wheels set, which was a way I had never thought about that game before, but made perfect sense. But just watching footage of him playing it, and as soon as he starts it, you start hearing the guitar strings of Paradise City, and I was like, oh, I want to play this game so bad right now.
And of course, you had to share that video in our Slack chat, and I'm like,
I shared that video,
Oh,
and
man.
suddenly everybody's like, oh, fuck, we got to play Burnout Paradise.
And most of us did.
Yeah. I didn't have the time to dig out my 360 to play it, but yeah, everyone else did.
Yeah, I got frustrated playing the Division, and I was like, I could be playing Burnout right now.
Yeah.
So I quit the Division and fired up Burnout.
Yeah. Man, that game is something
still
else.
so good.
It is solid. Like, there are some little things here and there, like a little bit of the car handling on some things and like some of the
it's a little
modeling.
bit wonky.
Yeah, but it's just like some of the modeling you look at and go, that could be better. But just like pure gameplay wise, man, that thing, there's nothing like it. There's still nothing like it.
No, I really want there to be a Burnout Paradise 2.
It would be
or
nice.
Burnout Paradise Extreme or whatever they're going to call it. But if they ever do it, they absolutely have to just make that game again, only with some different cars in a different location. They cannot... If they try to make a new one and fuck with it in any way, it is not going to be nearly as... like, it will fall far short.
Well, here's the problem, and I noticed this while playing it, in that the way that game does not hold your hand on the things that you are doing or need to do wouldn't fly today. Like the fact that you can't set a waypoint, for example, wouldn't happen. But it's one of this game's strengths.
Right.
And the fact that there's no on-screen indicator as to where you're going, you just have to hope that your eye catches the turn signal and the street that pops up in the top part of the screen. When you were going so fast, you were basically at Mach. I mean,
No,
But they do a really...
no game has captured speed like that one has
No,
for me.
no, they
do
haven't.
None.
a really good job, though, of making that, like, when you're driving, it pops into your vision and blinks. Mm-hmm. And so they do a really good job of getting your attention with
Absolutely.
that. Like,
but it's one of those things where, like, you look away from what you're doing for a nanosecond,
oh, you're
and
fucked.
you are fucked. Like, playing this game, all I could think of over and over again was the beginning of that one Snow Job G.I. Joe PSA, the redub thing, where the kid's like, holy cow, check it out, I'm going so fast. Ah, fuck. That's my entire time playing
Yes.
Burnout Paradise, which is just like, I'm going 150 miles an hour, this is the greatest thing in the world. Oh, I hit a turtle, and I'm fucking dead.
I hit a speck of dust on the road, and now I'm a
My
million.
car is an accordion now.
That was my favorite weird side part of the tortoise and the hare, when the hare was going so fast and he hit a turtle and just crumpled in slow motion.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing I had to adjust to from going from Burnout Revenge to Burnout Paradise. Because Burnout Revenge, you just ram shit out of the way.
Exactly.
This one,
Nope.
you nick a car that happens to be on the left-hand side of you, and your car just erupts into shrapnel.
The interesting thing is there are two different classes of cars. There are other Burnout cars, and then there are just cars that are going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cars that are going around. If you touch them, the map explodes. Everything dies.
Yes.
But if you touch another Burnout car, like, you may cause them to explode, or you yourself could bounce off of that and explode. But, man, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It is.
But that video nailed something else that I hadn't thought about, is the way he basically said the city works because of the density of it. There's no wasted space anywhere. Everywhere in that is part of a race somewhere. Every part of that has a billboard or the
Smashes.
Yeah, or the smashes or something that you.
Well, each
that
road is
gives
a
you
time
progress.
trial.
Yeah.
Each entire road is a
road.
time trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And a showtime trial.
I agree with that in theory, except for I think about the entire Northwest and how much I hate going up there because there's nothing. Like, I mean, it's just, you get up there and it's pretty and it's scenic and there's jumps and stuff, but I mean, like, there are no events up
The
there.
nice thing about, at least to me, the nice thing about the Northwest, and I'll agree, I stay generally in the Southeast because it's more dense with
Right.
things that I'm doing, but when you get up into the Northwest, it's all those, like, it's all such good driving when you get up
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I'm saying, like, you finish a race up there, and you're like, fuck, I'm in the Northwest. I gotta find a thing to do now.
Yeah.
Like, this is the worst place to be.
And that's the other thing too, is that there is no fast travel back to somewhere you need to go. Like I'd realized
But
I'd
getting
never.
somewhere in that game is so much fun for me.
Oh sure, you get across the map
Oh, yeah.
in a minute and a half.
These are
it's-
super minor complaints.
Think about the fact that when it first came out, you had no race restart.
yes, I was thinking about
You
that.
had to turn around and drive your ass back.
Yeah, I was thinking about why this why this game made so many people angry when it first came out, and it was like, yeah, there was no, you couldn't restart a race, and because it broke away from that sort of crash puzzle thing that it used to do, which is cause a crash and then see how much shit would
Yeah.
happen in a chain reaction.
Yeah, because Showtime mode is not.
no,
same.
Showtime mode is fucking weird, man.
Showtime mode's
it's
fun.
fun.
It is,
but it's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's not that puzzle game that the
It's
crashes
cool how
were.
like a million buses show up immediately as soon as you go into Showtime.
yeah, it's like, oh, there's no
Like-
traffic. Showtime mode.
Traffic bus. Bus Palooza.
Yeah.
Another thing that, and I apologize, I forgot his name.
errant signal.
Errant Signal brought
Campster.
up. Campster. Another thing that he brought up was that it's like playing cars on your floor as you're a kid. Like it's all about, that game is all about just doing silly stuff with cars. It doesn't care about the cars themselves. It doesn't care about brands. It's just like, all right, go do a thing with your car. Just like smash it into a wall, throw it off a cliff, whatever. Just
Well, yeah.
do a fun thing with your
It's the opposite of the fetishized car porn
Yeah.
that Forza has become. Because I mean, when you get
Which
your
is
new
great
car,
in its own right,
when you
but-
get your new car, they drop it in a junkyard, trashed.
Yep.
car. Yep.
It's like, here's a piece of shit. Enjoy.
Yeah,
Hope you enjoy your piece of shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Good job winning that race.
yeah. Like that's what you have to earn cars. You have to wreck them.
Well, and to get new cars, they show up on, and they don't show up with an indicator on the map. That's
They
another
just
thing I love.
drive
They
like
just,
an asshole.
They just
Yeah.
like you'll just be driving along, and all of a sudden, round.
Yeah, it's like,
there's
what
that
the
car you were looking for. There's not an indicator on the map. There's not a waypoint or anything. You just have to chase it, but you have to wreck it
Yes.
to capture it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how you win it. You're not racing for
Yeah,
pinks.
which-
You're racing for death.
Which is why Need for Speed Most Wanted, the Most Wanted 2013, I think it was, version that team made just didn't work.
It was close. It was so close.
It was
but
close, but it was so sterile, and
Yeah.
it didn't have that.
DJ Atomica.
It didn't have DJ Atomica, which, as you pointed out, just isn't as obnoxious as we thought, as
No.
we remembered him being.
no, now
DJ
he's
Atomica-
nostalgic. Now he's great.
But that's the thing. He's not like. So my DJ Atomica here for Crash FM. Why don't you jump your fucking car off a sweet jump, dude? Like, he's actually not like that. He's like,
No.
hi guys, I'm DJ Atomica. I'm here in Paradise City, and I'm going to help you get around the city.
Let's be fair. I think we're transposing the DJ Atomica from SSX.
Yes.
That's the thing that Mackie brought up. But like,
Because DJ Atomica and SSX was that fucking annoying.
yeah, I don't.
I mean, I know you love
SSX
SS.
3, I believe, was
Well,
the one he was the
Well, I thought the
worst
new
in.
one. I thought was like where he amped it up. Wasn't he even? Was he not in the new one?
I can't even remember now, honestly. But I know SSX 3 was him at his like DJ Atomica-ist, where it was just, dude, back off.
Yeah.
His meltdown.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's kind of nostalgic listening to him in this because he's just like
he's-
he's like, hey, maybe you should check out the Crash FM podcast because we'll tell you all about cool burnout stuff. And I'm like, oh, that was a thing. That's nice.
So, sad story. I fired up Burnout Paradise, and I'm like, okay, it's stuff on the 360 is now super weird to me because like it pops up and goes, hey, where's your save?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know, on the memory card. And it's like, all right, cool. Oh, your save is fucked, actually. Your save is absolutely irrevocably fucked. And I'm like, but why? But what? Why do?
What did I do?
How I? And then I looked at my.
That's not fair.
Yeah. 3 achievements left. Had every car in the game plus a couple that you had to put in codes for and shit like that.
It's kind of like finding like your childhood teddy bear and you go to pick it up and it just crumbles.
That's pretty much exactly what it was. It was like,
I wasn't even thinking about that. Now that I saw it,
yeah.
why?
And so, like, 80% of the saves on that flash drive were corrupted. So I lost a ton of saves. Most importantly, my Burnout Paradise save. I was probably
100% save, too.
100% save, yeah. And I was probably going to start a new save after I dicked around a little bit, but I had no choice this time. And actually, I say all this to say that DJ Automata is like a good buddy for the beginning of that game. He's like, hey, you're new to Paradise City, so let me give you a couple tips.
Yeah.
Here's what a junkyard is. Here's what a jump is. See all those billboards? Cool, you smashed a billboard. Good job. All right.
There's only 499 more of those.
Yeah.
Does it stop the
It's like
game?
120.
Does it stop the game when he's doing that, or is he just narrating over you driving around?
So when you do certain things for the first time, it slow-mos into a stop, and he talks over it for a little bit, and then it lets you go again.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. Like, it's like, all right, you're here for a regular race from point A to point B. Get there fast. It doesn't matter how you get there. Just get there before everybody else. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
We're all counting on you.
Don't
Just
fuck
wanted
it
to
up.
say, good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
Well, and it makes me remember that, going back to what you're saying, Chuck, how some people just hated that game for certain reasons. It's because you get good because you know that map.
Yep.
And if you don't know that map, you're just like, I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, it's kind of like running around in a Call of Duty game, and you're just getting destroyed because everyone else knows the map.
Yep.
That's almost what that game feels like. It's like, I don't know
yeah.
the map. I don't know where am I supposed to go?
I am absolutely destroying the computer racers because I know that map.
Yeah.
And I like
It's
not even
embedded in our
shortcuts.
brains.
Yeah, I'm like I don't usually take shortcuts in that because like shortcuts are a recipe for me to catch a pixel and
Right.
and disintegrate. What I do is I find the fewest amount of turns that I can make to get from point A to point B. So I'll just pause it real quick and look at like, all right, I can go straight for like 1 billion, for halfway across the map, and then make 2 turns and I'm at my destination. And that's what I do. I just go straight as fast as possible.
Like skiing.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so yeah, but knowing where you can do that and like what you have to do to be able to make get your way around that map, and all of my sweet burnout skills are still primed. It took me like 10 minutes. I'm like, this is Unix. I know this.
Wah! I was just impressed by when I jumped back into it. I was looking at my stats and I was like, wow, I played 40 hours of this game. I didn't do shit in it. Like, I look at the map of all the events. I didn't do any of them.
Does it keep your multiplayer in that count?
I believe so, because there's a separate counter for...
That would make a big difference, because when you're in multiplayer, you can't do any of that stuff. You
Right.
can only do, like, the assigned things. And I remember playing a lot with you.
Yeah, oh yeah. And there's a separate counter for Big Surf Island, but I think it's just total time playing game. So, but... Like I was looking through the achievements to figure out, okay, what do I need to do in this game? Let me do things. And I was like, I haven't done any of these burning routes. None of them. And then I figured out why, because it's a pain in the ass to go back to the junkyard every single time to switch your car to go find the new target thing. Is like each one is specific to each car.
Wait, are you saying because
The burning routes?
are the events clear? Is that why you're saying you didn't do anything? Because every time you go up a license, they reset.
Do you have your burnout license?
I do. I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember that? I didn't know if you remember that portion.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I had done a couple things, but like the majority of like the
You were expecting your percentage to be way higher.
So you had the highest license. You're just saying at that point you hadn't cleared.
I just hadn't done most of the eventy stuff.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the burning
Marked
routes with
man
the
and-
specific cars were what took me the longest out
Yeah.
of anything.
Yeah, like
in
you
that
need
game.
25 of them for the first achievement. I have done almost that exclusively for the past 3 days, playing 2-3 hours at a time.
The burning routes?
Yeah, and I've only gotten up to about 16 or so.
Yeah.
Because some of them are super easy, like it just works. But the ones that are like the super fast Class A cars, fuck, those are the ones where it's like you've got 50 seconds to get across the map. If you fuck up one time, you're not going to make it.
Yep.
And so it's just like turbo across the map. And then I see a pillar coming, and I'm like, fuck, I got to go one way or the other. I can't decide. Fuck, I'm dead.
Like I said, like I can't think of any game that gives me that satisfying sense of speed like that one does. Like getting on the highway and just getting your burnout chain up to like 16, 17, and you're just like, I'm going the speed of light. Fuck. Like that feeling of being like that inch away from being completely out of control.
Yep.
Is it's the best fucking feeling.
Yeah, it's like you can taste colors. You get
Yeah.
you get to a point where it's just like, dear God,
You've gone to plaid.
Yeah.
You're just like, fuck.
Yep, exactly.
I've started doing the probably bad for my vision and possibly dumb thing of sitting like 4 feet from my TV, and I'm doing it in first-person view, so I don't have the car.
Oh man.
It is so intense.
Oh my god.
But I am on the razor's edge of performance.
Yes.
I am just gliding down just a razor blade.
Yep.
Walking along the razor's edge.
It is so fucking intense. And I finish a race like I said, my skills have returned with a quickness, and I'm finishing a race with like 40 seconds to go. I'm like, or like a burning route, and I'm like, yes.
Oh,
That was the best feeling when you just shelled it. When you
I am the fucking car.
Yep. Yeah. I can't believe that's 8 years old now.
Still the best game
That came
ever
out
released.
8 years ago.
doesn't play like it.
I know.
It is one of the best games of the generation and holds up amazingly well.
Yeah.
Like, its flaws are so minuscule, it's like, who cares? This is still the most pure fun video game. Like, you look at this game, if it came out now, all you can see are the ways they would fuck it up.
Yeah.
Just fuck it up. Because it would be microtransaction-y and just real cars, and they would put like a speedometer on the screen,
Yeah,
which is
like-
going to break the illusion. It's just...
Oh, yeah.
And that's the sad thing is you can't put out a game with fake cars anymore.
No.
They will not let it happen. You can't do that. You can't do split second. Any of those types of games that were just like, nah, we just made up our cars. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, if you don't have licensed cars, man, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. And it's dumb.
They could only do it on the back of a burnout license.
And the
I mean,
problem is,
Uh-huh.
everyone that was at Criterion is gone.
yeah.
Everyone that made that game is everywhere else.
Yep.
And whatever was left of Criterion is making that like ATV racing.
No, they're making Dangerous Golf.
We have
Oh,
to get
that's
the
what they
band
moved on
back
to?
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be all right.
We have to go on a
Yeah.
quest. We have to get the band back together.
Just put them back,
God.
force them to make another Burnout game. Just kidnap them all.
At
and just
gunpoint.
make the game.
Now I'm DJ Atomic.
Honestly, they probably would. I really like from everything I've heard from that team that they're just like they wanted to,
Yeah.
but EA was like, no, you're making Need for Speed now, so you can make that game, but make it a Need for Speed game,
Right.
And it just
EA is going to hang on to Need for Speed like the WWE with their entire roster.
Yep.
It's like, you will fucking like this eventually. Like, just, if we cram this down your throat enough times, you will like it.
I wish they would just alternate. You know, make a Burnout game. And it seemed like for almost a hot minute, that's what they were about to do. Like when that Need for Speed Most Wanted was coming out, you're like, oh, this could be, they might just lean into it harder.
I need to go back and try Most Wanted again.
I kind of wanted also, like, that video used
Yeah.
some clips from it, and I was like, oh, yeah, that game was...
Yeah, but maybe it's just something you can't go back to.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's just no way to capture that again.
You can go back to Burnout Paradise.
Yeah,
Right
man,
now.
if they make that backwards compatible, they keep talking about it,
I know.
and it keeps not happening.
Well,
Same
it's
with
ju-
Red Dead.
It's
like,
too bad that it's just like it's still a popular game, but it's like not popular enough that they're going to do like a definitive edition. Because like the thing is, like on the PC, you can crank that game up and make it look more or less like a modern gen game.
Oh, yeah.
and so you could put that on the Xbox One or PS4 and
EA
with
has
all
I would-
no interest.
exactly.
I would
that's what
pay
mean.
$40 for a PS4 version
I
so
would-
that
I
I
would-
can continue to have it when my
yeah.
360 finally makes it to
Give
the
me an
sun.
excuse to play it again. Like an excuse to just start from the beginning.
Online with my homies.
Yeah.
I mean, they
yeah.
they packaged the Ultimate Toy Box or the Ultimate Box or whatever thing on the PC that didn't include everything, which was dumb. But I mean,
apparently
like,
on Origin it does, but Steam it does
Oh,
not.
well-
which is dumb.
yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying, like they went and repackaged it once. But I just don't understand why they can't do that again for consoles. Just one more time.
It's EA. They have zero interest.
Well, that game also had like that really weird, like, it came out, people were up on it, and then it crashed because I bought my copy for like $17 at GameStop, which is deal of the century.
It was not the other Burnout games. And at the time, people were
Yeah.
like, no.
And then it just went, it skyrocketed again shortly. Like,
Well, it had such a loyal following of people.
Well, the patch that put in the day-night cycle, bikes, and the restart the race is what did it.
Yeah.
And
The
classical
what was
music.
it? 1.5,
Yeah.
1.6, something like that.
Yeah.
I remember it had a number, and it was like that was the one. It was like we fixed Burnout.
They supported the shit out of that game. And the saddest
did.
part of booting up that game is when you get to like the weather screen where it's loading.
Oh, no.
And you just see when
Like 2013.
well, you
was
just
the last update.
you just see when they just were like, it's fucking dead. Like it's the last entry, and it's like the game was abandoned, and you're just like, oh, come on, guys.
No.
Yeah.
I kept hoping to see like, hey, you're still here. What are you doing here? Thanks for still playing Burnout. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it feels like that. There's people that play racing games where the ghost racer in the game is like a relative who's passed away
right,
on
yeah.
their friends list.
Yeah,
It kind of feels like that. It's like, oh, Burnout Paradise.
yeah. I tell you,
I remember when you were one of us.
I tried an experiment where I just jumped onto an online session, full 8 people immediately.
Really?
Like within 5 seconds.
Holy shit! I
Yeah.
can get those last achievements.
I bet we know who one of them was. I think we probably played with them.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, I met some amazing people playing that game. And I remember that night in particular, too, that those people like joined in with us. We're like, what is this guy's fucking deal?
Well, we met that employed dad guy who I think is
Yeah,
on all
that's
our
the one I
lists
was
now.
referring to, yeah.
And he is on like the top of my leaderboard for fucking everything.
Yeah. Oh,
like I
so I'm
regret
saying,
making
how's
him
that
my
doing?
friend because like
that
he
was
is-
the
he
guy I
just
was
beat
talking
your
about. You were
ass?
talking.
Yeah.
You think I meant
Oh, I
the
thought
other
you were-
guy?
Yeah,
thought
we
you
thought
meant-
you meant the other guy.
No,
yeah.
I meant
that
him.
guy's pretty cool.
That guy
but-
was cool.
But
Exactly.
he
Yeah,
employed
fucking
dad's the
owns
best.
that
Right.
game in
That's what I
every
mean.
aspect. So
He's
Yeah.
that guy that's like, this is my game.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to play it until
Yeah.
my 360
Well, it was like
no
his-
longer functions.
It was
Or I
fun
buy
joining
another
their
one.
parties because it was like a hangout session with
Yeah,
these people.
it
They
was.
were just like like you have people that play WoW and all they do is just chat while they're running raids or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like how they
There's
meet up
people that
with their
just
friends.
go into the town and chat. They don't
Yeah.
even actually play the game.
But
They
yeah,
just, like,
but that's how
socialize.
Burnout was for these people. It was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like me with Mad Max. I'm like, I like just driving around in this place.
and they were
So
super
why
cool
wouldn't I?
about like, what do you need? Like, you
Oh,
need,
yeah.
what 8-player challenge do you need? And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
like the
need this.
cops and robbers one.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, well,
Let's
what,
do it.
What are you this time?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the cop. They're like, all right, well, here, we'll let you win.
Right.
We don't care.
Yeah.
And they fucked around a little bit. They'd be like, maybe we won't.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
there was something I was like, this is all I need, and I got my 1250. And they're like, well, shit, we're doing this.
Yeah,
That's
we had
pretty
that.
awesome.
I was looking back at my achievements, and all the multiplayer ones were from like it was like January 2013 or something like that, where it was all of us fucking around.
Grinding on
And,
those
and
stupid
employed dad and
Yeah.
a few of his friends.
Yeah.
Who,
and
like,
the jumping, like where you had to do the challenges.
Yes.
When you would finally get a group of people to cooperate and all get in the same place and actually do the challenge, and we would do it 8 times so that everybody would be able to complete it.
Yeah, we had just jump over everyone else. All right, everyone line up. All right, now Mackey's gonna jump you. There you go.
yeah.
It's a good time.
God,
I'm gonna have to like pay for Xbox Live Gold for a month so I can do the online achievements for
I
that.
probably still have some cards I give you.
All
Some
right,
trials.
a stack full of 24-hour trial
Yep.
cards.
A
Yeah.
couple days.
Couple weeks worth.
I keep cracking them open, and I find them in games. Like, I don't
Just
fucking
wait
need
for
this.
Xbox Live to go down and like get the free day or two that they give
Yeah.
you for
Yeah.
fucking up. You know.
There you go.
yeah, not happening anymore.
Oh wait, no, that they extend yours. Yeah, they don't just give
Yeah,
it to
they
everybody.
just
Damn it,
extend
that's
it,
right.
unfortunately.
No.
Oh well.
Oh, well.
Oh well.
Hey, speaking of games that have been out too long, that we're still playing for some time.
Yeah. Dude,
Uh-huh.
what can we
It's
say
not
about
quite as old, but it's half.
It's almost there.
It's half.
No, it came out in
2000
2010.
It is
2012.
ancient. It is beyond years.
Is it 2012?
2012, Diablo 3.
Oh man, yeah, Diablo 3.
And never forget.
I won't.
Yeah, we're still playing that.
Yeah, what can we say?
I don't know, except that I think we're finally hitting the like max point. Like, I mean, I don't like where it's like I could
Gold-
keep playing, but like
Yeah, the first thing is gold does not matter in any way, shape, or form.
I have just under 2 billion
Yeah, so that doesn't matter.
with a B.
Yeah, that doesn't matter anymore.
No,
Torment 9, we die every once in a while, and it gets kind of annoying because things just take too long to kill.
sadly, 8
Not-
is still the sweet spot.
Yeah. I think we just need the best gear. Like that's where we get to the point where like you look online and you see, okay, you need to get this belt and this thing, and this is probably what you should be running with.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
almost
know.
we've almost reached that point where we're like, all right, this character I can't make it any better without a certain piece of gear.
I you know, it feels sad. I mean, I don't know what to do with basically feeling like I'm almost done with the game. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's not
we're
really
never
anything else.
done.
I suppose there's hardcore and the heart attack that's waiting to happen there. I suppose.
But you know what? It's still fun.
Actually, you know what? Hardcore wouldn't be so bad. Like, getting a character where they have some stuff would be the hard part. But like, if I could somehow like take even an eighth of what I have and give it to a hardcore character, I could level a new guy and like no problem.
yeah.
Just like start a new character, go to town, have my shit, go. You know, even just like a few Paragon points in hardcore would help. Like that's the crazy thing is like, but it's still there's just that risk, that fear of playing hardcore that eludes me.
But yeah, that game is still, it's just fun.
Yeah,
It's just fun to run around watching shit blow up.
yeah. Oh, and we did the March specific.
Oh yeah, the cow level.
Yeah, the cow level for March.
Yeah.
Which I guess there's a way to get to it all the time somehow, but I think you have to like sacrifice an item inside the cube.
Yeah, I have it's the bovine staff or
Right.
whatever. I forget what the specific name was.
But there's an easy to get to thing in March.
Yeah, it's near Kanai's cube if you know anything about Diablo 3. It's in the throne room near there, and it apparently always opens up when you go there, because every time we've tried it, it opened up, but
Yeah.
you're not missing much. I will say that.
I mean, unless you want to hear the lots of mooing, that's
Yeah, it
typical
is
of the cow
always
level.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, that's Diablo 3. We're still
Yeah.
playing it.
You can switch to the 360.
Am I?
Yeah.
No.
nah.
No.
No, I'm not going to buy
Well,
the
it
last
doesn't
two
have
platforms.
it doesn't have the expansion on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they came out with the Ultimate Evil Edition. No? Is that only the new
No, I
ones?
think they only did it for the new ones.
Yeah, I don't think they did it for the ones we fired into the sun.
All right. Well, then I definitely won't go back.
Yeah, it is kind of sad that we both spent $5 to get a zombie dog that picks up gold.
That is
Which was
sad.
like,
Actually, yeah.
it was one of the pre-order bonuses,
Uh-huh.
but you know how they basically sell it for
Yep.
$5, and we're like, should we? Yeah, we're doing it. So yeah, we bought zombie dogs, and they run around picking up all our billions of gold.
Whatever,
Do you
man.
like your zombie dogs?
Oh yeah, zombie
All right.
dog's great.
Yeah, the only thing is, like,
He makes noise.
they made a little too much literal barks for it, because, like, it makes noise all the damn time. And it comes through,
There's
like,
so much shit making.
but it's like in
so
a
much
weird... It's
noise.
It's in
yeah,
a
but
weird,
we're like dogs. We know that specific frequency
Right.
of certain things.
Okay.
and it's too close to a treasure goblin.
Yeah. And
Oh,
it's,
I'm
just-
sorry.
it's in, like, a
Too close.
weird channel or something.
That zombie dog is too close to a treasure goblin.
It is.
Yeah. These are terrible problems.
These are real Diablo 3 problems.
real Diablo 3
The
problems.
struggle is real.
Yeah. But yeah. I was going to say something. I don't even know what the hell it
ridiculous
was.
out of context. That's all.
Yes, it is. It is all very ridiculous. Especially the fact that we're still playing it.
It's video games.
It is video
Yeah.
games.
Well, I got to get my 500 bounties, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The $5. I didn't feel bad because it felt like this is the last $5 I'm giving Blizzard for Diablo 3. Period.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's it. This is the last hurrah.
Yeah, we cashed out.
Because I mean, if you think about it, I owe them probably a couple more $100. Like
the number of hours
for the number of
you've
hours that
gotten.
I've gotten out of it. Because I mean, on the Xbox version alone, I'm close to 8 days.
That's a lot.
Days like
That's a lot.
24 hours.
I know. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot.
That's
I admit
that's
this.
like Elder Scrolls level.
No, we've crossed past that.
Yeah, I know.
We're in like WoW territory now, like where you have to go to something like that,
Where you start gauging it
where
in
you
weeks.
you do what is it /played on your highest level
Oh,
character
God,
and
no,
see
no,
the
no,
sadness. Yeah,
Yeah, you think about all the times you missed.
that's another reason. To, just think about the Division. I haven't found /dance, so that's kind of a reason that game can fuck off.
Oh.
If you're gonna make an MMO, you better give me a fucking /dance, and I don't
Yeah.
mean /jumping jack. I mean /fucking dance.
Yeah, quick question about that. Did you ever end up in a line to use the laptop?
No,
I think they fixed that with a fucking quickness because
Yeah.
I forget.
I
who
did have
was-
someone jumping jack me in a doorway, but we all just pushed.
Oh yeah,
into
when
it.
you fired it up for the first time when I last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still say the best thing they could have done was like someone from Ubisoft sitting there in that doorway just going, kick. Oh, you did it again? Ban.
Yeah.
Kick. Oh, you did it again? Ban. That would have been the greatest thing ever. I mean, just what better way to like put something into your game to call out the assholes on like day one?
Yeah.
That would be an amazing thing to do. Just like, yeah, we made an MMO and we figured out a way to kill all the trolls.
I just
Day
wanted,
one.
I just wanted it to have like a very humiliating takedown that like disables them for a full minute.
Sure.
But if they were in like that very specific spot, or else people would obviously start trolling everyone. But it's like, have one of those cases where if animation is jumping jacks and location is this, then
Like an
punch.
NPC comes out of
Yeah.
somewhere, like, and breaks you in half and takes all
Yeah.
your stuff.
Genitals cut off, stuffed in mouth.
A zombie dog chases a treasure goblin.
Down your throat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah.
That's got to be it this week, right? This month.
Yeah, we have no correspondence of any kind. Does nobody love
Yes,
us?
welcome to No Court.
Oh, no correspondence.
No correspondence. There you go.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You know what?
People were busy playing games.
Yeah.
I bet.
Or you know what? They're like, man, they're just going to say everything I wanted to hear anyway. So
That's probably
That's
more
right,
correct.
yeah.
No.
Just like, be patient. Don't ask the question. They're just going to answer it anyway.
Yeah. If they did want to get in touch with us, they'd probably go to noquarters.net where they'd find, that they could email us at wearmyskull@noquarters.net as far as location of your skull, not.
Sure.
Yeah. You could go to youtube.com/noquartersnet.
Correct.
Go to twitter.com/noquartersnet, facebook.com/noquartersnet. And we have a Patreon. It's at patreon.com/bmfcast
What?
because of our other podcasts
Oh.
that you probably already listened to if you're listening to this, but you never know.
You'd be surprised.
never know.
There's a line in the sand of
Yeah.
that some people do not cross.
Okay.
There's a Venn diagram.
There
It's
it
not
is.
a perfect circle.
It's not.
But anyway,
People
yeah.
should listen.
It eats me up inside.
Yeah. If you want to support us and get a goofy podcast of us saying stuff that's not video game or movie related, chip in there. You'll get it.
Well, we're not specifically discounting those. We're not not saying
but
those.
it's other topics
Yeah.
of us just being dumb and saying dumber things than usual.
Super dumb.
Sometimes they're funny. You never know.
subjective.
But yeah.
We try hard.
Yeah, of course. We really do. So you guys ready to get out of here?
Oh, let's.
I guess so.
All right. I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Harlow.
This is No Quarters out.
Who gets to do the intro this time?
Not me. I did last one.
I did it 2 months before.
You
so.
say that every single month.
No, I'm not
I think
saying it
may
this.
be-
I'm saying 2 months
I think
before.
it may be my turn.
All right.
Probably is. You were never here.
Well, okay, so I did.
We didn't make you
well,
do
I
it the
don't know.
first time you were back.
No, I think I might have done it the first time I was back.
Well, the first time you were
did.
back, I think was the Foties, which was you. 'Cause
Okay,
you
the
usually-
Foties was you, yeah. So it's your turn.
Is it?
Yeah.
How did it come back around to me already?
Well,
We're only
because
on the third one of the year, so
3,
Foties.
2, 1, you.
All right.
That's right. That sounds right.
Mhm.
Oh, so this is my four-peat. Is this my fourth in a row? Fourth no quarters?
I don't fucking know.
I think so.
Yeah, because we had... Yeah, yes. Right. Welcome.
Welcome. You've got mail.
File's done.
What else is important to talk about in all of this shite? Obviously, Far Cry and Division. Those are big. Games.
Games. Talk about games.
Tell some tales.
Mm-hmm.
Job's done. Lotar. Dabu. Zog zog. We're being attacked!
Mm-hmm.
Stop touching me.
Man, I'm driving around in Burnout Paradise, and I'm like, there's a billboard I didn't smash. Why not? And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, how the fuck do you get to that?
There are like
I can
two or
probably tell you.
there are
I'm
two
sure
or
you
three where you have to like jump from one parking garage to another and then jump. Yeah.
That's what I started to put together, but then I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna race. But still, I'm like, there's nothing even ramping to that.
Yeah. Some of them are just like
Are there planes in this game?
what I'm doing right now is when I get a new car, I immediately go do the burning route. And then I get the new car from the burning route. I drive that around doing whatever challenges or races are for that car until they give me a new car, and
Yep.
then I'll go do the burning route for that one, and
So
it's very
the
satisfying.
words look fine in the Google Doc.
Oh, let's look at the
I mean,
words.
we
Your
don't
words
we
always
don't
look
normally offer opinions on the intro, but
I should open the Google Doc.
Oh, you didn't have
I like that. That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
I think it stinks.
Great.
It stinks.
Toronto is the anus.
Toronto.
More like Toronto. No.
Oh, shit,
Ronto.
Toronto.
No. Boom.
All right, here we go.
Here's your hot take.
Coming up this month of No Quarters, we get Primal and Far Cry bro out with Broforce, tell a pair of tales. Fuck, I fucked up. Tabulation.
We know.
Tippy toe.
Tip-ta.
Coming up this month on No Quarters, we get Primal and Far Cry bro out with Broforce, tell a pair of tales, and find the sum of the division. Enjoy.
It stinks.
I did notice DJ Atomica says enjoy quite a bit at the end of his
Enjoy.
sentences.
Yeah.
Is that where we got
If
it?
we were wondering what the genesis of that was, that might be it.
Enjoy.
He says it quite a bit in terms of like when you get a new car and
I like that better than we accidentally stole it from Tosh.0, but I think we were on before Tosh.0. I think we were doing that shit before that started. His little disclaimer
Stole it from
thing.
us.
Well, I'm saying, like, that was always the end of his disclaimer.
oh,
First it was like Lindsay Lohan, then it was like the piecemeal Barack Obama. Like they found him saying all of the words in the disclaimer somehow. Yeah. Yeah.
But
All
you
right.
have a good seat, Chuck. That's all right. Well, now
He's just got
it's
an
the
old
worst
butt.
seat in the room.
Old butt. All right. Anyone who's still around, we are signing off now.
Thanks
Good
for
night.
stopping by.
goodbye. You should watch Bamfcast tomorrow night.
Yep.
Episode
Yeah, we'll be
316
back.
on 316. Austin 316.
And dollar hot dogs. We'll be hopped up on dollar hot dogs.
What?
Tots.
Hopped up on hot dogs.
I'm doing it like Stone Cold, not like annoying asshole wrestling fans.
Same thing.
No.